Am I on? Am I live? Yes, I am on. Yes, I am live. Feeling the power of Smackdown. That was me being loud for all you mofos that commented on my status. Yes, I can be loud, but only when I'm on the show. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Unpopular Review, Smackdown edition. I am your host, the executive consultant, Chris Harris. As you know, this is the new format. We bring in a guest every single week. Every single week. Star power. Added on with that guest because I'm star. But I'm going to bring them on too because they are making it better right here on Popular Review. So I said, hey, it's the second week. Who can I get to follow up? Wrestling is everything. And I picked up the phone and I gave a call to somebody who's in the middle of washing their ass. Ladies and gentlemen, the first lady of UPR from Beating Faces, none other than the Brooklyn Wolf of Makeup, April Rodriguez. Welcome to Friday night.
Oh, Chris, you don't change at all. I missed you.
Missed you too, darling, and all of the Hamanacres out there. I would never call you all a pet, but I'm bringing you a treat. If you have never seen April Rodriguez on the show before, you are in for that treat. And before the show ends, I'll say, you're welcome. Hey, it's great to see you here on a Friday night. I don't remember if I ever had you on a Friday night before.
No, because I remember when I was part of you guys, I said I was never going to do Fridays because I had a life, but thank you, COVID, for taking that away from me. So you got me.
Who would have ever thought COVID would have lasted as long as it has? It took all of 2020. It looks like it's taking a majority of 2021. Actually, probably all of 2021, but we're in a much better position, unfortunately. I mean, I hate to say unfortunately, but I don't necessarily think exactly. But hey, I got to go to Wrestlemania. I'm going to talk about that a little bit, but let's talk about Smackdown because I want to dive right into it because we're a little late, but that's my fault. I'm sorry so much. George says, April, we miss you so much, but nobody says they miss the Tribal Chief. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Think about changing my name to Tribal Chief. I'm only on, me personally, I'm only on Fridays. Unless you watch the movies. I'm only on Fridays. You know, it's.
I think we get the executive consultant once a week. Enough. That's totally fine. Hey, what's up?
My fans want to see me all the time. They want to acknowledge me, the Tribal Chief. I'm the Tribal Chief of this industry. Welcome back, Brooklyn Wolf of Makeup. This went from the A show to the A plus show.
Know.
Gave me 2 pluses. The Tribal asshole.
I like that, Willie.
Do you see the disrespect I'm getting from my constituents here? Let's go ahead and talk about SmackDown. SmackDown starts off with Roman Reigns coming out. Your Tribal Chief, your head of table, the Universal Champion comes out. Paul Heyman, main event Jey Uso, and he's basically letting him know he smashed him, he stacked him, he pinned him. He's acknowledging himself. He's basking in his glory. The fans there in the Thunderdome will be rude as somebody from Brooklyn. It is terrible. It is awful. April, please tell me you are one of the ones that acknowledge Roman Reigns and how good he is, possibly the biggest star in wrestling, WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling, MLW, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Please tell me you acknowledge the fact that Roman Reigns is that man.
Listen,
Babe Ruth.
Putting him with Paul Heyman was the greatest decision they have ever made because this is obviously this is his best run. I mean, he had a nice run with the Shield. That's when I started with him, but I'm so happy with this. I'm so here for this. I feel like we should have had this years ago, but time and the place. And I don't know about all the other promotions because they have their things going on. But when it comes with Roman, he's top dog, and I acknowledge that man. I can acknowledge him anywhere I see him, so I'm here for it.
Oh my gosh, you sound like another one of us, Katrina Storm, who always is talking about how she was so disrespectful when I said acknowledge me, but everybody needs to acknowledge me. But I get what y'all saying to a different degree, but I get what y'all saying. Roman Reigns is definitely on another level, and he proves it every single week. The energy that he puts out there. Unpopular Review, if you follow us on Instagram and Twitter, we actually posted a poll. What was the best match of WrestleMania for night 1 and night 2? Night 1, of course, was won by the SmackDown Women's Championship, which is Bianca Belair, more on her later, as well as Sasha Banks. And then night 2 was won by the Triple Threat Universal Championship match. And then you put both of them together and saw what was going to be the better match between the two. I voted for the Triple Threat. The SmackDown Women's Championship won. And before we get back into SmackDown, I just want your opinion on that. What do you think was the match of the entire WrestleMania weekend? Was it the SmackDown Women's Championship or was it the Universal Championship?
So I love the women's SmackDown match. Like I was so here for it. This was so monumental. We needed this. I felt like this match could have gone a little bit longer and maybe a little bit harder. I enjoyed the match. We all know how hard Bianca could go, but Sasha can go even harder. So this could have been a banger. But that triple threat, I really thought Edge was gonna take it. Like I was kind of out of my seat for it. But yeah, the triple threat, it made it. It really did. Like I said, if we had those little additions to the women's SmackDown match, then it kind of would have been balanced. But shit. Yeah, that triple threat was something.
You used the word properly in this when you're describing it. It's called hard, no pun intended. But that's really what happened in the Universal Championship match. It was no hold barred. Everything was just like on the line with that. The reason how come most people I think give the edge to the SmackDown Women's Championship, and once again taking nothing away from there, was a great moment. But it's that word that I just said. It's the moment. The moment of what was the meeting behind the match and Bianca Belair winning is what really made it a little bit more special than the Universal Championship match. But if you go by bell to bell action and the edge of your seat action, what really got you in it, I'm going to have to go with the triple threat match. I think from beginning to end, it was just fantastic. The SmackDown Women's Championship, which was very good. A lot of good spots in this match. I mean, the physical strength of Bianca Belair to catch somebody when they're doing a tope suicida, roll it around, pick her up in a gorilla press, walk it to the steps up, and then throw her over is impressive. The suplex that she held on Sasha Banks for a while and doing fantastic. I thought it was good, but we're talking about Roman Reigns, your tribal chief here, who everybody wants to acknowledge him now, but somebody who was not trying to acknowledge him was none other than Antonio. I'll use his first name, Antonio Cesaro, coming out there. And something that doesn't happen too much in wrestling nowadays, I felt like was disrespected a little bit because Roman and Paul and main event Uso just walked out the ring, didn't wanted to listen to a word Cesaro has to say. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was a pretty good segment. I feel like this is Cesaro's time. And you know what? I really need Cesaro to step it up a bit. This man has been with the company for years upon years. I don't remember not many Manias. You could probably correct me, but I don't know if this is his first singles match in a Mania.
It is his first singles match, yes.
So that's completely unnecessary because this man should have been champion a long time ago. I feel like this is his time, and I feel like I don't remember the last time we had a real good feud with Cesaro and somebody else. So this could be it. Because Seth Rollins, I think he's done. I think he's at his time where now he's just cruising, he's chilling. So I am here for Cesaro and Roman. I feel like this could be a good thing.
I think that will be a very, very good feud going forward. I'm interested in seeing that. Let me catch up with some of these comments. Highlight them for me, Monkey in the back. Yeah, Cesaro looks like he wants a shot, and I don't see that happening. We'll talk more about that to the end because the WWE psyched you out a little bit. Acknowledge Rhea is our role. I will never do that.
Yes, Elvis. Yes, you know I'm with you because
he Babe Ruthed him. Yes, he definitely Babe Ruthed him. Keep going. Everyone needs to respect, capitalize, respect Roman Reigns. Okay. I agree with you wholeheartedly, my man. Wholeheartedly. Next match of the night we're going to talk about is none other than Rey Mysterio versus Otis of, I was about to say Heavy Machinery, Otis of Alpha Academy. Dominic on the outside, as well as Chad Gable on the outside. Match was what it needed to be. Good thing about Rey Mysterio is he's been in the game for so long. He's wrestled so many guys twice his size, 3 times his size. He knows how to make a good match out of almost anybody. This match, did what it had to do. Happy to see a rare victory, and I hate to say it like that because we're talking about Rey Mysterio, but a rare victory from him as he pulled up the victory over Otis, and I thought it was a great move. Otis doesn't necessarily need it. Right now, they're trying to build something with Otis. I understand, I recognize, but he doesn't need it. Rey Mysterio needed that victory in order to continue this feud. I was very happy to see it. There you go, right there, father and son. In my opinion, the ones who should have won the tag team championship still possibly can. April, your thoughts, Rey Mysterio, Alpha Academy. What do you got to say for us?
I don't know what's up with this whole Alpha Academy thing. I mean, I really missed the whole love triangle that Otis was having with Mandy Rose. Just that could have gone even something longer. Chad Gable, again, come on. I don't like they're just putting them together and saying, this Alpha Academy. I'm not here for it. Rey Mysterio, what's there to say about the man that hasn't been said? But I feel like right now this is his last run, so I think he's just having his fun right now and surprisingly putting people over because he did put Otis over a bit in that match, but it was all right. I mean, I don't know.
like I said, nothing to write home about, but it did what it had to do, which is to further the story, possibly end the story. But it was a decent match. But what you hit the nail around the head. What else could you say about Rey Mysterio, former 2-time world champion? I mean, I'm sorry, 3-time world champion. He's just an amazing athlete, one of the greatest. I wish they give him his back as Pyro, but I was glad to see it. All right, let's go ahead and talk about a segment I did forget. Thank you, George. But it was backstage. Cesaro was talking about he wanted a match against Roman Reigns tonight here on SmackDown. Adam Pearce is going to say, hey, you got it. But Sonya Deville says, got to talk to Roman about it. Why? Roman's the big dog. He's the head of the table. He makes the rules. Cesaro looked a little bit strange over that. It's my friend. I was watching my friend. He said he definitely sees Sonya Deville is going to end up taking control over SmackDown. Adam Pearce is probably just going to have Raw. I mean, is that the obvious answer? Is the writing on the wall for that? What do you think? Do you think Sonya Deville will make a good general manager, official, president, commissioner, whatever they call them nowadays? Do you think she'll make a good one for SmackDown?
Yeah, I really think so. I don't understand why she's still with Adam Pearce, and they don't really have anything going on for her in the ring. And she's been big zaddy Sonya ever since she got that little promotion. So I'm here for it. I think she'll be a really great general manager, and that's what we need right now.
I'm actually surprised that since she's come back, she has not seen the ring at all.
Yeah. Well, like you said, maybe they don't have anything for her, or she's like, unless you have something really good for me, then I'll take the general manager role, which is also a really good role to have.
Mm-hmm. It is a good role to have. I actually would not mind Sonya Deville eventually coming back and feuding with your SmackDown Women's Champion right now, Bianca Belair. I think they can have a very, very good program. Sonya Deville was never bad in the ring, ever.
Oh, no. She's gotten better within time. It's just feud-wise. I think probably the best feud that she was good with was the last one she had with Mandy Rose. Because they were together as a tag team. She didn't really talk much. So since that turn happened, she's been being vocal more. So with this general manager position, she can work on her vocal skills or promo skills until she's at that point where it's like, okay, I'm here for it.
Agreed. The Universal title match was the match of the weekend. There have only been 5 triple threat matches for the World Championship. WWE title, Universal title, Triple H versus HBK versus Benoit, Orton versus Angle versus Mysterio, Rollins versus Lesnar versus Reigns, DB versus Orton versus Batista. That is true. Sonya for general manager, SmackDown, Adam Pearce for general manager, Raw. Cesaro looked like a bigger Adam Pearce wearing the same outfit. That is accurate. Taiwan, haven't seen him in a while. Hey. What's going on? Elvis, why isn't there an intro video with the song anymore? They need to bring that back. Not sure. They want to go right into the action. I think I always said that Raw and SmackDown do better with the intro. I mean, playing what happened last week till you can find out the main story going on, playing the music intro, and then having pyro. I think that's just the best way to do it, but I know why they just want to go straight into the action. Problem is, it's usually an interview segment. So do you really, really want to just start off completely with that, or can we just go ahead straight to action, especially when there's no crowd? But whatever. Let's try to get a hype. Next segment we're going to talk about is actually a match. It was a return WrestleMania rematch. It was Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I was upset there was a rematch. These two put on a good match at WrestleMania, but I didn't want this to be a long program because we've seen too many long programs over the years with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I kind of wanted this to be a one and done, but it looks like from what I can see, it's going to keep going. Do you think this is simply because of the fact that they have nothing else for Kevin Owens to do or Sami Zayn, or do you think that possibly this is going to be Kevin Owens getting Sami Zayn to get back to where he needs to be so they can form a tag team and possibly go after the tag team championships themselves? Because like I said, what else are these two individuals going to do?
Well, if they're not going down that road, then this is completely unnecessary. We've seen Sami and Kevin everywhere, in NXT, even in the Indies. So they feuded forever. So if they're not going to get to that point, then what's the point? And if you want to put Kevin Owens in a feud, who would you put him with right now? Same thing with Sami.
That's true.
Even this whole conspiracy Sami thing going on, I'm not here for it. I'm still confused about it. They put on a great match on WrestleMania. I loved it. The match they put on tonight was really good. See, Kevin Steen and El Jericho, memories. The match they put on tonight was good, but again, I think this is just another, okay, we don't have anything, you guys have another rematch, which I felt towards the end of SmackDown. We basically had a Mania rewatch.
Definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Unpopular Review SmackDown Edition. I'm the executive consultant. Over there is none other than the Brooklyn Wolf of makeup from Beating Faces. She's letting you know to wash your ass here, especially in this era. Make sure that you like, love, and share this video to all your timelines and groups. And follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Unpopular Review on YouTube, and our sister channel, UPRE, for our movie versions. Definitely want to go ahead and give that a look. But right now, if you are watching us, definitely hit that love button. Definitely hit that like button. It was good to have fans for WrestleMania. That was good. The place was electric. George had a time of my life. Willie Jones says, sorry, the first two African-American women in the main event of WrestleMania was the match of both nights. I can understand that. I can respect that, especially when you put it like that, who can do anything but respect it, unless you're racist. Elvis Martinez says, sign the check and fire up the jet. That was a good line. Matter of fact, that's good. Producer, if you can actually put a picture of Matt. Actually, I already did. Put Pat McAfee up there real quick. Let's talk about Pat McAfee. Give him a grade for his first night. It was his first night, so you want to give him a chance. But if you give him a grade right now, what would you give him?
I want to say a B. You know, he was very entertaining. I really liked when he was in NXT. Like, to be honest, I thought Adam Cole might be making his debut tonight because of the whole Pat McAfee thing, but hopefully that's probably going to be on later. But I'll give him a B. Like, he was pretty good. He's a podcaster, so he knows how to go on the mic, and he still needs to learn, you know, like moves and stuff like that. But he had fun, and I was here for it. He
definitely had fun. He was having so much fun. He was getting into a moment. He stood up a lot to call the action. And one time he actually said, I forgot how the phrase he used about, so I'll paraphrase. He said tag team wrestling. And he immediately apologized because he knows that's a no, you're not supposed to use the word wrestling, especially in commentary. So that was, in fact, he immediately apologized. But I would say, if I were to give a rating to him, I would agree with you. I'll say B. I mean, yeah, he has some work to do, of course. But like I said, this was his first time. But he was much more entertaining than the guy that took over on Monday Night Raw. I'm going to give him a chance, too. Don't get me wrong. I'm definitely going to give him a chance. But so far, I was not impressed. But I can see why they moved Corey Graves over there to try to help him out, because you couldn't have Corey Graves on SmackDown. They have Pat McAfee, Byron Saxton, and then the guy Adnan.
That would be a lot.
Yeah, it just would have been bad. It just would have been, I mean, Raw aside from itself, as the monkey in the back was like, oh, it's the worst Raw in history, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you're not old enough to know the worst Raw in history. Get out of here. But anyway, that's how it is. That's where we are. Let's catch these comments. Start over here with, there you go. What do you think about Kevin Owens using a stunner as a finisher? I'll turn that over to April.
I love it. I mean, he's been using it for some time. And, hey, that was the finish of one of the greatest wrestlers in the world, Stone Cold Steve Austin. So why not pass it down to another great wrestler who will eventually be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, Kevin Owens is definitely a future Hall of Famer, former Universal Champion, former United States Champion, former Intercontinental Champion. I am okay with him using it, but it doesn't have the same impact when he uses it, unfortunately, as Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I'd rather him go back to the pop-up powerbomb as his finisher, personally, because I'm a fun one too. Yeah, and I really like that move, and I didn't understand why he felt the need to have to change that as his finisher. I just thought it was a really solid finisher that he should have kept. But as long as he wants to use it, it's his. I mean, it's his move, his decision to do. I'm perfectly fine with it. He doesn't do it bad. What's the next comment? Which brand do you think Roderick Strong is going to go to? It doesn't matter. The technician David Sanderson likes to say that Roderick Strong goes to the main roster. He's going to be used as like Drew Gulak. At his picture too, producer. I can agree that Roderick Strong would be a Drew. I mean, Roderick Strong is great in the ring. Matter of fact, add him too. He's great in the ring.
Yeah.
Solid in the ring. I'm a big fan of Roderick Strong, but
not as a singles.
You cannot put him on Monday Night Raw and think he's beating a Drew McIntyre or Bobby Lashley. You can't put him on the SmackDown and think he's beating a Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, a Kevin Owens. It's just not. It's not believable. It's not happening. I would love to see it, but it's just not going to happen. So Roderick Strong is better off in NXT or 205 Live or going to the Indies. And I'll talk more about that, because as soon as we're done with SmackDown, we're actually going to talk about some of these characters and people who were released, because a lot of mixed emotions, I'm going to be controversial. Give me the next comment, please. Do you think that Io Shirai is coming to SmackDown? Definitely. I think Io Shirai is done with NXT and she's going straight to SmackDown. And to address something that April said earlier, Adam Cole, in my opinion, is going to Monday Night Raw. I don't think he's coming to Friday Night SmackDown. He's going Monday Night Raw. He's going to feud with Drew McIntyre when Drew McIntyre beats Bobby Lashley at Backlash for that championship. He gets a B just because he corrected Michael Cole calling Top Dogs dirty dogs. Thank you, because I don't understand. They've been using dirty dogs for weeks now. Has not gotten over, but that's what they are. So I don't know why you call them Top Dogs, even though Top Dogs sound a little bit better than dirty dogs. I will say that. Let's comment. What's up, Mitten? How you doing? What's up, April? What's up? Roderick Strong might get used to use like Dean Malenko was in the early 2000s. But the thing is, Dean Malenko was still going after the Cruiserweight Championship in the early 2000s, and the Cruiserweight title was on NXT. So he needs to stay on NXT. I see what you're saying. SmackDown was an okay show. That is from Mr. Clifton Brown. Let's go into the SmackDown Women's Championship celebration. Street Profits come out, welcome Bianca Belair. Gets very emotional. The problem I had with it is since the Royal Rumble, I've seen Bianca Belair celebrate and get emotional, be happy. She had a WrestleMania. That was her moment. I need to see her start kicking some ass at this point. I need to see a bit of a change. So this segment fell a little flat to me. What do you think? Wash your ass. Hashtag.
Well, I obviously got emotional because I love Bianca. She has come such a long way. She's had her moments, 2 great moments this year, winning the Royal Rumble and becoming SmackDown Women's Champion at Mania. I don't like babyface Bianca. I like heel Bianca. But I don't know. What can you really do with this girl right now? I mean, now Bayley's going to want to go after her. Now she's just going to be babyface, so she got to play into that, being the EST, being the best, the strongest, the greatest. And she's probably going to be like a female Roman Reigns when he was a face. So I feel like that's what they're going along with that. But like I said, I miss Bianca as a heel. I hope she does turn soon. But for right now, what can she really do? Because all the heels are going after her now.
And I completely agree with you. I think she is a better heel. However, right now as a face, I think as far as winning the SmackDown Women's Championship, first one, I think this was better for her. She does play the sentimental babyface very well, but she also plays that arrogant heel very well. But I mean, a lot of wrestlers play a heel better. But I am interested in seeing Bianca Belair play that. I did see a comment here from Shannon Frederick. Who do you think will be the EST's next challenger? I think they said it right after it. Sasha Banks was in the back. She had a look. She didn't say anything, but she had a look like, hey, I want my championship back. And then Bayley had a segment, an interview segment, and Bayley, longest reigning SmackDown Women's Championship in history. I said it, I think, Sunday. In my opinion, I don't think this would have worked if Bayley did not make that championship so prestigious, so over, because last year she dominated that year as the SmackDown Women's Champion. She really elevated that championship, in my opinion. And then Sasha just kept it going to the fact that they're able to main event a WrestleMania, not the Raw Women's Championship, the SmackDown Women's Championship. And for the longest time, they gave Raw Women's Championship a little bit more prestige than the SmackDown Women's Championship, unless Charlotte had it. So it was very good to see. It could end up being a triple threat between Charlotte Sasha. I mean, Charlotte has a way; she'll find a way in that too. Yeah. But between Sasha, Bianca, Belair, and Bayley, and I would not mind seeing a triple threat match between these people, these women. And actually, I wouldn't mind Carmella being thrown in there too, because I think Carmella has definitely upped her game recently. But I think she should be, after Bianca beats Bayley and Sasha, I think she should go after Carmella should go after her, so they can keep the program going with Bianca Belair. But once again, I do also believe that Io Shirai is making her way to SmackDown.
Yeah, we got a lot of strong women on the SmackDown roster, and that's why I'm kind of disappointed with the women's division on Raw, because they're just kind of all over the place. I'm happy Rhea won. I feel like she could be the one to try to establish the Raw Women's title the best. Finn Balor is stayed in NXT. You leave him alone. No. They destroyed him in the main roster. Let me
bring some kayfabe, and ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you like, love, and share this. I haven't seen enough likes, haven't seen enough love. So if you're watching that, please do me this favor and hit a like and a love, and hit that share button. I want more people in this. As you watch this, as I tell April Rodriguez this bit of a news break, I am telling you right now, good job. I'm telling you right now, Finn Balor is coming to SmackDown. He is done with NXT. He is coming to SmackDown.
They're gonna burn him again.
To feud with your tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And at the end of that feud, Finn Balor will be acknowledging Roman Reigns. Look for it. Look for it.
We already had this match on Raw. I don't want to see it again on SmackDown. You leave husband alone.
It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. Finn Balor in his current incarnation would be a bigger challenge to Roman Reigns, but yeah, Roman Reigns, he's holding that title for a while. It's definitely going to happen.
You leave husband in NXT, send him to NXT UK, and he can start a feud with Walter, and I'm fine with that. I don't want him.
Even if he starts a feud with Walter, he's not going to win. I'm not calling it WrestleMania Backlash, not because I have a problem with the name. I don't care about the name. Okay, if I call it something, it's going to be called Backlash. They're doing that for promotional opportunities, I think, and that's fine for them. I'm calling it Backlash. But yes, I do believe Drew's going to beat Bobby Lashley at Backlash, and Finn Balor's coming to SmackDown, and he's going to fight. And you know what? That might have been why Cesaro had his little issue today, because they're holding off these NXT call-ups. If you can't tell, they didn't have anybody on Raw. They didn't have anybody on SmackDown. They're holding off on it, but it's coming. Adam Cole to Raw. Io Shirai is going to SmackDown. Finn Balor is going to SmackDown. Tony Storm might be going to Raw. I'm not 100% sure on that, but everything else I said, I'm 100% positive on that. Give me another comment, Monkey.
No, if he shows up on the main roster again, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
He skipped Apollo's backstage with what's his name, Commander Aziz. I was going to talk about that. Go ahead and throw that graphic up. But Commander Aziz was in a backstage promo with Apollo. Apollo just said, "Hey, I won the Intercontinental Championship. They don't have anything else for me to do, so let me make an appearance backstage and have an interview. I'm going to show what happened. I'm gonna let you listen to the director in the background say 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's what happened, right? Nothing else to talk about. Get him off the screen. That was it. It wasn't even important. There was no Big E on this SmackDown, right? There was no damn Bryan on this SmackDown. What's up, Mad Dog Kelly? There was no Edge on this SmackDown. For a while, I didn't think Seth Rollins was showing up, right? No, there were a lot of people that were not on the SmackDown, but if you look at Raw, there was no Sheamus on Raw. There was no AJ and Amos on Raw. There were a lot of people missing, whether they were injured, because they went at it on Monday and Sunday and Saturday. They went at it.
They will, John. They will. Leave him in
They will not kill Balor. They will not kill Balor. Give me another one.
You saw what? This is all fucking Seth Rollins' fault because he's the fucking reason why they treated Finn the way he did. He was your first Universal Champion, and because of Seth Rollins and his clumsy ass, Finn got stuck in a position where he had to job for 3 or 4 years. No, you leave him. Leave him. If I see Seth Rollins near him, yo, I'm gonna make him block.
There's nothing wrong with what happened when it comes to Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. Finn Balor was actually more successful. He was more successful on the main roster than people give him credit for. Will the Demon ever return? No. Well, yes, he will return, but no time soon. He does not want the Demon to return. No, he did not. But he will not. He does not want to. He thinks that's a step back. But when he goes back to main roster, people are going to be clamoring.
Him being the Prince was a step back. That was his first gimmick.
This is what he's actually gone on record saying. He thinks it'll be a step back. He wants to see his character that is in NXT progress. But when he goes back to the main roster, too many people are going to want to see the Demon come back. He's going to have to do it.
I missed it.
I think Lesnar shows up sometime and Heyman turns on Roman. I think Lesnar shows up. I don't think Heyman turns on Roman right away.
Oh, no.
I think he's going to take a step back and just watch and be like, make so many of the most classic Paul Heyman faces when this happens.
We need that right now.
Stuff like that. It's going to happen
right now.
But it's not going. It should not happen at a Backlash. It should not happen at a Payback. Shouldn't even happen at a Money Bank. There's only 2 places that can happen: WrestleMania and SummerSlam. If it doesn't happen, then do not do it because it's crapping all over it. That's a WrestleMania or SummerSlam match. I can see Big E getting a rematch for the Intercontinental title. Unfortunately, probably before he loses again and goes into a program with Roman Reigns, in my opinion. All of them was at the release party. I don't know if you're trying to be funny, Derek. If you are, that's messed up. That is messed up. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry, Chris Balor goes to Raw to face him, the Fiend. No, Finn Balor is right now a babyface. Now, they could switch him to heel like that because they did that with Rhea. But that's not what's going down. That's not what's hot on the streets. Let's talk about the next segment. Next segment was for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. It was the Street Profits versus the Top Dogs, which, let's go back to a comment I saw Willie said, and I want everybody to know that the comments that Willie Steamin' Beamin says is a reflection on Willie Steamin' Beamin' alone and does not reflect that of unpopular review, and I think it was deleted. I think it was deleted because I don't see it. So if you see it, you delete it. Or you're not putting it up? You delete it? Okay. All right, cool. Fine. All right. Being told by the boss we're not putting it up. But anyway, it was funny. All right? I thought it was funny. Anyway, so I secretly want to see Bad Bunny get called up.
Sign that man. Sign that man. He did a phenomenal job at WrestleMania. I was happy we had bunnies. You know what? Fuck that. That was the match of the night for night 1.
That was the dumbest match I've ever seen in my entire life.
That was a good match.
How do you have Bad Bunny? This guy's like a toothpick, right? All of 130 pounds, right? Who maybe gained 5 pounds of muscle. But how do you have Bad Bunny, who should be somebody's Thanksgiving dinner, defeat a former 2-time Grand Slam champion?
Look at the 205 Live roster. They all look like that.
And they weren't at WrestleMania.
What Bad Bunny was. Listen, I love that feud. The matches, it was fun. Mania always has to have those fun matches. And when it came to celeb matches,
I had a fun match. I had Roman Reigns beating up Edge and Daniel Bryan. That was a fun match.
A match. We're talking about a fun, silly match.
Hey, April, I know you haven't been on in a while, but in case you didn't know, Elvis is still a troll. Highlight his last comment there,
Of course, he's still a troll.
He's still a troll. How much of a bum is Jon Moxley? Only reason how come he mentioned that is because you're on. That's the only reason. He's never talked about that any other time. Except for Steven when he's who? Why is that? Somebody's getting fired. Somebody take that off. Take that off. Somebody's getting fired. I swear somebody's getting fired. I don't understand why that's still on. Somebody getting fired. Anyway, look. Here's the thing. All right? You made me lose track of where I was going. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Unpopular Review. I'm the executive consultant, Chris Harris, your tribal chief. Over there is none other than the Brooklyn Wolf of Makeup from Beating Faces on YouTube. Posted it down there, monkey, instead of trying to make fun of me and how pet soft I was a Bad Bunny. But go ahead and put that up there, Beating Faces on YouTube. Definitely give her a follow. You get a lot of good information, and she tells you how to wash your ass because you dirty people don't know how to wash your ass. So you definitely want to go ahead and check that out on YouTube. First lady of UPR, might I add. Very first one. Glad to have her back for this episode. We appreciate having you on with us. Make sure you like, love, and share this. Please hit that share button. Do that real quick. Let everybody see this because we're a great show. Also, make sure you hit that like, love button so you can tell everybody that you love the show because it was good, and we have a lot more to come to you. We're about to finish up SmackDown. Steamin' Willie Beamin makes his return tonight as he has a special segment, and he airs out his grievances that he saw with the world of professional wrestling. Then we're going to talk about WrestleMania reactions. We're going to talk about some news that we came up, and of course, we're going to talk about Derek Mitchell's release party that he wants to talk about. So we're going to go ahead and give all that a talk. Let's talk about the next thing happened on SmackDown. I was at the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. For some reason, I stopped. They won. The Dirty Dogs won. They retained. Shout out to Dolph Ziggler, who put a Bianca Belair-like braid in his hair for that match to talk a little bit of crap to Montez Ford. It was a solid match. I really thought the Street Profits were probably going to win, but they lost, and they lost clean. So I do believe that the Mysterios are the next challengers for the Dirty Dogs, which like I said, I would like to see the Mysterios win the Tag Team Championship. April, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's time. I haven't really been keeping up with this whole Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode thing, or Robert Roode, whatever the hell he is. I'm kind of past that. You know, they could have done so much with Bobby Roode, but they went completely different way.
Come on and tell her. Just say hi, you know, as you want to interrupt the show. Watch our views go down because your face is.
Hi, David. What's up, April? How you doing? I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, to interrupt this SmackDown Results edition of Unpopular Review, but just wanted to come say hi to one of my former favorite co-hosts, April. Hope you're well, and okay, bye.
Unpopular Review. April says it's past your bedtime.
Oh my God, please.
Hit that one. Same thing. Hit that like, love, and share. Dirty Dogs. Let's go ahead and go to the next segment.
Yeah, it's nah.
All right, boom, 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 boom. Natalia versus Shayna Baszler. This was a forgettable match for me. I don't even remember who won because somebody let me know. Could a Ham and Egger tell me who won? I don't remember who won this match. I just remember Natalia fended off beat down by the tag team champs. It looks like they're going to continue their feud, which I don't mind it, but
there's no real tag teams on the women's division. That I can't wait to WrestleMania talk because I have a lot to say about that. But
if you want to see the technician get beat up, check out his brawl with That's Okay on UPR YouTube. That's true. Matter of fact, we can have it right now. Go ahead and play it. Let's take a small break. Go ahead and play it.
Do not do that.
But I would like to officially challenge the technician, David Sanders.
Not that. The beatdown. We'll play.
I want to see it.
I knew it, bitch! I knew it! You have a crush on Nia! You've liked her for this entire time, dude! Okay. You want to fuck Nia!
No, I don't. Okay, listen, I don't have time to talk about this right now, okay? Somebody's at the door.
Sounds bitch.
What the fuck? Oh, shit!
What the fuck? What are you doing, man? Come on, man. Let him go. What are you doing? Get the fuck out of here, man.
Told you I'd whoop that ass.
All right, perfect. Let's do it.
Cut it!
I forgot, but you know what? Let me tell you something. Us here on Popular Review do not condone that kind of actions or anything like that. We don't condone beatdowns. We don't condone home invasions. I am really disappointed in the producer. That's okay that he was almost suspended, but it was WrestleMania weekend, and we didn't feel like it was right to do that. But it is what it is. Highlight some comments, Monkey. Both best of all time. Natalia took care of business. And I can see Natalia and Tamina winning the women's tag titles. If they went face, and maybe they went face today, I don't know. That's a problem with the storyline. I don't know if Natalia and Tamina are all of a sudden faces. They were heels. So how did they go to faces? If they're faces, maybe. They can have a short interim title run. I don't know. What the F is this mess? What happened was David was caught almost masturbating Nia Jax. And then Kata, who was in Orlando, decided to drop by and invade David's home, which happens to be my home since we're roommates, and beat that ass like he said he was until I came and luckily saved the day in a hoodie. As I happen to be walking past my own home. I don't know. That boy tapping out after a second. Oh, my God. That's exactly what he said when he was tapping out. Okay, so Chris Harris, why did SmackDown play the UFO clip 6? I have no idea.
Yo!
I am so glad you mentioned that. I am so glad. Take that hashtag down. I'm so glad they mentioned that.
Wash your ass tonight. Whip that ass every other day of the week.
Put that up. Wow, that home invasion was like a classic. It was classic like a Godzilla versus King Kong. It definitely wasn't a new one. Let me tell you that right now. It was more set up, but it was good. Won that match, but I forgot. Yeah, who won that match? Zoli. Who won the match? Natalia. I guess Natalia won. No, but Tamina was in the match. It was Tamina.
Shayna won.
Shayna won. Good. She should win. You know what? I'm not disrespecting the tag team division of the women. I think they're great, but I'm skipping it. Let's go ahead. Main event: Uso versus Cesaro. And the match was pretty good. Let me tell you something. Main event: Uso. Some people don't like the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner. However, the reason they call main event Uso is not because he wins the match. It's because he puts on a good match in the main event. You know, even with a loss, he looks good doing it. So that's what happens here. He was losing to Cesaro before Seth Rollins came out and psyched your bitch everybody in the wrestling who thought that Cesaro was going to win this match and go on the challenge Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins said, no, you ain't going after nobody because we ain't done yet. I'm the end all. You're coming after me. That's pretty much what happened. We're going to have a rematch, a WrestleMania rematch at WrestleMania.
Oh, okay. That's how much I was paying attention to that match. My bad.
Yeah, it was Natalia versus Shayna. Okay, Natalia won again. But thank you, Derek. But yeah, so there you have it. Seth Rollins attacks Cesaro, and that's why they showed the UFO 16 times. I could have sworn they talked about it. It was a great segment. It was a great time. Trust me. It was impressive seeing it live. I don't need to see it 5 times. One replay is enough. That's it. That's all I need. Not 6 times. April, your thoughts?
I don't like the whole name main event Jey Uso. I don't think it fits, but like you said, the match was great. I mean, you know, these two are really great wrestlers. They put on a really good match. Seth Rollins, no lie, Elvis, if he had a black shirt, then that whole outfit would have been official. But he's a little crazy right now, so it's patterns on top of patterns. But it's Seth Rollins. We've seen him go crazy like this, and now he's
dripping Rollins.
Like he's just being the spoiled little brat that he was, and he demands what he gets. So. That's going to be that's been a fun feud, but I still feel Cesaro should have done it 37 times instead of 25 times. 23 times. I think he should have done it 37 times. You know, for Mania. It was a special moment.
He might not had the strength and energy to do it. It was a long match. I mean, his stamina is almost second to none. But
he's just beefy.
He did the UFO, and then
yeah.
And then he went straight into the Cesaro swing, so he might not be able to do it. But either way, it was still impressive. Either way, I couldn't take it. Shout out to Seth Rollins, who did take it. So you got to give some thoughts to that.
Fun.
Seth Rollins got that raspberry beret swag. Okay. Shannon says, oh, no, George Samuel Lewis says Cesaro versus Rollins at Backlash. Oh, my God, Cesaro is going to win. Rollins likes long feuds for some reason. Rollins can win that feud, and then they set up a third match. Seth be fresh as F. That's from Shannon Frederick. George Lewis says, quick question. Where do you see Becky Lynch going? Raw or SmackDown? She's going back to Raw.
Yeah.
She's going back to Raw. She might go to SmackDown the draft, but right now she's going back to Raw.
Elvis, it's time for you to go to bed.
Rollins is better than Mox Facts.
You can go to bed. I'm not falling into your little game. I did not come here on UPR to be trolled. executive consultants. They'll do something about this.
Elvis trolls everybody. He's been trolling everybody for 2.5 years. I can't
seem to get.
I've done everything. I've called the governor of Colorado and asked to have his home pesticide. It does not work. For some reason, he's still around. Maybe one day when he finds the proper blow-up doll and lets his rocks off, he'll actually be a little happier. But in the meantime, he just likes to troll. Matt
husband.
That's a Steve thing. Mad Dog Kelly from Wrestling. I'm sorry. From World Wrestling Radio says, "Why no Edge when they promoted him in the promo this week? They didn't exactly promote him. The reason how come I never said Edge was going to win, I never thought Edge was going to win. A lot of people did, is because Edge is a part-time wrestler. He said when he's in a feud, he'll be there every single week, but he's signed on to be there not 52 weeks out of the year, right? So feud was from Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. He's not coming back probably till the SummerSlam build-up. So maybe in 2 months or so, he'll be back for that SummerSlam build-up. But he was not ever going to win, because if he won, he would have to be in SmackDown each week, unless they're going to give him a Brock Lesnar-like run, and I don't think he even wants to do that. When Ronda comes back, where's she going? She's going to Monday Night Raw, because they never had the true finish between her feud with Becky Lynch. It was supposed to be WrestleMania. The WrestleMania ending was kind of botched, so you didn't really feel like you had that proper ending. So she's going to Monday Night Raw when she comes back, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. George, we'll talk about that. I don't care what time it is. Does anybody care what time it is? I don't care what time it is. I know the governor of Colorado. Great. Did you invade his home along with your rat brothers and sisters? I don't know. Let's see. I'm still shocked that WWE released Samoa Joe. We'll talk about that more in a second. April, your overall thoughts and grades and opinions when it comes to Friday Night SmackDown.
So I'm not gonna lie. This was the first SmackDown I've seen on Friday since it got on Fox.
Oh, that long.
It's been a while, but I guess like a B-, C+. It was okay. I mean, I just felt it dragged, and especially it's the SmackDown after WrestleMania. You expect it to be a good SmackDown, but we basically just had half of it being rematches from Mania, and then just unnecessary segments. So yeah, like B-, C+.
Yeah, it was better than Raw. And a lot of times I'll say it's amazing to me how SmackDown and Raw supposedly now have the same writers. And I feel like it's complete. What's going on, Ruben? And I feel like it's a complete different writer for SmackDown and Raw. SmackDown usually runs so fluently. However, I will say, especially for SmackDown after WrestleMania, this is possibly, in my opinion, the worst SmackDown I've seen all year. And that surprised me. It started off very strong with Roman Reigns and the Cesaro tease. I was like, okay, it looks like we're about to get infused. It looks like it's about to pick up. And then it just kind of dragged a little bit. I felt like there was nothing really solidified. Like they just said, hey, here, go out. And
I feel like they've been doing that a lot lately. Like they'll just have this one big segment, and then the matches would just be so random. One feud for one title, go back to that, and then it's just random. It's not flowing right.
I agree. It's like, not, and you can definitely see it in this one. But I mean, I would give it a C. Yes, it is, Mr. Lopez. Make sure you leave a like and a love before you leave, or stick around. But I definitely think it just wasn't there. So I give it a solid C. And the main reason I'm giving it a C is because, like I said, I was just disappointed. It's a SmackDown after. We'll talk about that in a second, but it was a SmackDown after. Matter of fact, add Murphy in there. It was a SmackDown after WrestleMania. It just felt like it should be more. I felt like I was going to see some call-ups, which they used to do back in the day. You're in it, and I have no problem with that. Some people was like, "Oh, it should be supposed to be the draft or the superstar shakeup after WrestleMania." I'm fine with it being in October.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that. I feel like if you really want to make it smooth transition in WWE, I know they like shaking things up. The Raw and the SmackDown after WrestleMania, you have NXT call-ups. And then you have your draft in October. I think that works out better. You have your call-ups, you put them places, see how they do, and then see where you can move everybody around in October, getting set ready for the WrestleMania season coming up in a couple months after that. I think that's the best way to do it. That's just me. I'm not a billionaire, and I don't make the money events. I don't work backstage. I don't even know why you put Moxley up there right now. You should join the AEW show sometime. The producer actually is on that show with Big Daddy Cool and the Sheriff, Tamara. Read up what's the clip that say here? I think Paul Heyman went too far when he talks about wrestlers' marriages. That's not right at all. Clifton, when did Paul Heyman talk about wrestlers' marriage? Did he do that tonight on the show? I didn't see it. Because Cesaro, his girlfriend, actually works for the Performance Center as an up-and-coming wrestler, but I don't think he mentioned that. One issue is obviously you don't have the same energy after Mania with no live crowd. That is true.
Yeah.
Raw SmackDown after Mania with live crowd are usually good. Except for I really do believe that the last Raw with the live crowd after WrestleMania was not that good. No. I can't remember the last memorable, maybe 2017 after Roman beat Undertaker. I can't remember the last like really electrifying Raw after WrestleMania. But I mean, the Raw after WrestleMania wasn't the worst I've seen, but I think it was better last year's when it was absolutely no live crowd, no Thunderdome, nothing. That was awful. Okay,
yeah. That was sad.
Yeah, it was very sad. WrestleMania without fans was sad. And the thing is, they put on some good matches for the program, but it was WrestleMania. You had no crowd.
Yeah,
no crowd. That was terrible. Io Shirai to SmackDown, Toni Storm to Raw, maybe Dakota Kai. Where do you see her going to?
Not moving up yet.
Dakota Kai should not move up. Actually, in my opinion, at all.
You don't think so?
I don't think the main roster's for her. I think she's solid in the ring, but I don't think she has what it takes to make it on the main roster. I never did.
NXT fits her better, but not if they do decide, not anytime soon.
Yeah, I can give you that. Not anytime soon. Let me see Shannon's comment here, please. What's the name of the new plastic chick with the dog on NXT?
Frankie Monet.
Taya Valkyrie, John Morrison's wife. Yes, she is now in NXT. Former Impact Women's Champion. I'm still confused on the idea of WrestleMania Backlash. WrestleMania Backlash, so they call it Backlash. However, they're on a new network, right? They're on a new network. They're trying to get new eyes to the product. I mean, otherwise than that, it does not help them. Besides the money that they got for selling their stuff to Peacock, it does not help them unless they get some other extra stuff on the deal. So the most recognizable name in WWE right now that's not a wrestler is WrestleMania. The reason how come WWE is still always going to be number one over AEW is because of WrestleMania. WrestleMania brings all wrestling, everything in wrestling together. Even if you hate it in WrestleMania, you're going to move your product over to wherever the city they're having or state they're having it so you can get some of that backlash off WrestleMania, no pun intended. Now, since they're on Peacock, if you see the name WrestleMania, because there are a lot of fans who only watch during WrestleMania, if you see WrestleMania before Backlash as a casual fan, you're more likely to tune in. That's all it is. It's a play of the name of WrestleMania, trying to get some of that extra residual effect off of WrestleMania. That's the only reason. That's not saying it's going to be every pay-per-view is going to be WrestleMania Backlash, WrestleMania Money in the Bank, WrestleMania.
Really? Because that's the way you're explaining it right now. I feel like that's how they're going to finish up the year.
They just had a very successful WrestleMania. That was a very successful WrestleMania. They want to capitalize off of some of the residual effects, but it's not going to happen every month because it's not going to work every month, and you're going to oversaturate it. So for Backlash, yes, you might see a SummerSlam payback, right? It might happen.
Probably.
But that's the reason for it. However, for us fans who do watch more consistently, just call it Backlash. We're not going to sit here. There's too many things to argue about when it comes to WWE or AEW or Impact or MLW.
Just wrestling in general.
Yeah, exactly. The name WrestleMania Backlash. You know what the hell it is. Leave it alone, right? Put up the graphic for WrestleMania Backlash again. Let me show you, right?
Elvis, go home.
He's not going.
You're not welcome here.
You're not. Look at you. Look at you.
This is my time. You're not welcome here.
Let me put up the name. Because he's not, it's gone. What do you do? Oh, this guy is horrible at his job. I don't know who his boss is. They need to fire him. Let's see. Patrick says, hey, Chris Harris, hola, April. How come I didn't get hola? See, this is what I'm talking about when I say deploy. They can't have the Texas WrestleMania sign. I'm not Texas, Florida WrestleMania sign, Tampa, after with Money in the Bank and stuff. This is just to capitalize off of what they just had. That's why. It's still Backlash. Did you get a lot of merch at WrestleMania, Chris? I don't really buy merchandise like that. So, no, I did not get any merch at WrestleMania. I am going to buy a Roman Reigns shirt that says acknowledge me because I love that phrase now.
Of course you are.
Yeah, I am going to get that shirt. I have to. It screams me, right? It screams me. So I'm going to get that. But besides that, no, I don't get a lot of merch. I'm just going to call it Backlash. Thank you. That's what I said. The best two Raw and SmackDown was after WrestleMania 18 in Toronto when Hulk Hogan appeared, Raw after WrestleMania 28 when Brock Lesnar appeared, and F5 John Cena. I should have went to that Raw, and I went to sleep because I was too tired for WrestleMania 28, so I'm all upset. And this is the last comment that Elvis is going to say that's a troll that we're going to highlight. That's it. No more from you, Elvis, because you don't know when to stop. Go ahead. You know you miss me, April.
No, your kind isn't welcome. Go to bed.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Your kind is not welcome, right? We don't like aliens here on Earth. You know, I know it sounds a little stereotypical and prejudiced, but we don't like aliens. Go back to your home planet.
Trolls, but this is your show, so
he's a troll from an alien. They can call the secondary pay-per-view anything that used to be called In Your House back in the day. All of them were called In Your House, and then they actually added little taglines, and then they just became those particular taglines. So it's not anything new. Let's not trivialize things. Who do you see challenging Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's title? Well, I think it's going to be Frankie Monet. I think that's the way. I think she came out just for that.
Probably.
You know, and let's talk about this. This is actually going to be the next segment we'll talk about right now as we wait for Willie to set up. I actually had a controversial topic in the Yep, I Like Wrestling and Wrestling Civilization. Wrestling is everything. Go to hell. But it is on Wednesday, they mentioned that NXT had the best women's roster in wrestling. You might have saw me talk about this. I disagree. Right? I disagree. I said Raw actually has the best women's roster. SmackDown has a better women's roster than NXT. I think people are mistaking quantity over quality. And what I mean by that is you name your top 5 NXT women's wrestlers, and then you name your top 5 women Raw wrestlers, your top 5 women's SmackDown wrestlers. Who do you think stacks up more? I don't think NXT, especially if they lost Io Shirai. We know they lost Rhea. She's on Raw. They lost Io Shirai. They possibly lost Toni Storm. Name your top 5 NXT wrestlers led by Raquel Gonzalez. Are they beating your top 5 Raw women's wrestlers led by, should be Rhea Ripley, but let's be real, it's Charlotte Flair until Becky comes back. And SmackDown's led by Bianca Belair or Sasha Banks or Bayley. You can interchange any of the 3. Are you really going to say Raw isn't the best? Okay, I got you. Are you really going to tell me that NXT has a more superior women's roster than the names I just mentioned?
You know, and usually this is a rare moment, but I agree with you, Chris. Like NXT, their women's roster is so dope, but they're utilized better. Like I just said, the women's division on Raw, I don't know what they're doing with them, and I'm starting to see a little bit with that. Like they're trying on SmackDown, but they're just not nailing it. And yeah, you have some of the best in the WWE. That's what the WWE is for. But it's like what you said, the women on NXT, they're killing it on their matches with their storylines, everything. It flows better. And I gotta agree with you on that. And plus, with these girls on NXT, a lot of them were in the indies, so they already have the talent. And then you have some newcomers who are born in the PC. So this is still like a practice run for them and room for them to improve their craft. So I gotta agree with you on that. But listen, if Raw and SmackDown get their shit together with their women's divisions, then they will possibly get more eyes on the product. Not just I'm gonna watch Raw for an hour and then change it. And no.
I completely agree with you. And once again, to go back to that question, I think Raquel Gonzalez is still a heel. I don't know. I'm assuming she's still a heel. If she's still a heel, it might. I mean, but Frankie Monet looked like she's a heel, so I don't know necessarily.
Well, they might be turning Raquel babyface.
Yeah. If that's the case, the only person I can really see challenging Raquel realistically and possibly beating her at this moment, and correct me if I'm wrong about it, but is Xia Li. I think she's being built up.
They're building her really well. I know that's your girl too, so
yeah. As soon as I learn Chinese, she's mine.
I could really see something with that. Frankie Monet as well. I can't wait to see what they have with her. I think she's going to use the same character she had when she was in Impact, which I love it. I love that. And
I know they're really high on Shotzi Blackheart, and my disdain for Shotzi Blackheart is very well documented. I'm not a fan.
I like her, but she is too risky. She takes a lot of the moves that she does is very risky. Look what happened in the last takeover. She dived. No one caught her because that's the new thing now. Wrestlers are not catching anybody right now. So I do enjoy her in the ring, but she is too risky and she is too young to be doing all this crazy shit. I mean, I don't hate her in the ring. I enjoy it, but she's still young, so she's still gotta fix it up. And I think seeing her with Ember Moon, who has been in the ring for some time, she knows what she's doing. I feel like that is a good team, and she can help her improve.
I agree. The producer says that she's the Darby Allin of NXT.
Yeah, but Darby Allin, when he does his risky moves, he's not banging into friggin' like the sidelines or anything. This chick is literally getting banged on the sides.
He's just that's the some women might like that, but he's definitely he's definitely the falling off of scaffolds there. Jamie Elson says, "Where's R-Truth at?" I'm not sure. I'm actually surprised I haven't seen him in a while. He was in a commercial, and that's about it. This Frankie person is married to Jerk Morris.
I gotta say, I'm very surprised they didn't move her to the main roster because she's been in the game for years and she's been on so many promotions and
because her husband's there. So
I figured they would do a little something with them because I don't know if you guys watched Lucha Underground. They had a thing and it worked really well. And Miz and Morrison already has this gimmick that she can mesh well into. Correct.
But I think the main reason, and I completely agree with you 100%, but I think the main reason is I just think NXT Women's roster needs her. They just added the tag team
for a little bit.
So they needed more singles competitors like that, and I think they need her. Yeah, just for a little bit. Then she can easily transition over to Raw. April Zoli wants to know when you're dropping a new video. I'm assuming this is what this means.
I dropped one this past Tuesday. You can check that out. I did a tutorial, but if you want to go into the wrestling talk, go to minute 16. I do give my thoughts on NXT and Mania. I should be dropping another vlog. I'm going to Atlantic City for my first GCW and JCW show. So I'm going to be dropping a vlog sometime. So maybe about like a week or so, 2 weeks.
Good. And we'll look out for that. You can definitely check her out on her YouTube channel. And when she pops it up, we'll post it here at UPR as well. Until Becky and Ronda returns, only Charlotte, Rhea, and Asuka in the title scene. Everyone else is making a tag team. That's true. Ruben Lopez says like NXT might lose Io, but NXT is going to get Sarai. And look forward to see Sarai in the ring. They're definitely getting Sarai because they just lost Io. So they always have to, every time they lose a Japanese wrestler to the main roster, they got to put another one up there. So now it's going to be Sarai. I can see Xia Li being Raquel, but did you see Mercedes Martinez saying she wants a shot?
They got to build her up, though.
Yeah, they do. She's not there yet. She's not there. She's really good, but she's not there yet for the title.
Yeah.
I mean, Shotzi stapled herself before. That's true.
That's fine, but don't be banging in. She's just a mess.
What do you think about Zoe Stark on NXT? Not sold on her yet. I see where she has some potential, but I'm not sold on her yet.
She's still new.
So. Break the walls down. That was a very good podcast by Stone Cold Steve Austin, Chris Jericho.
Yes.
If you have not seen it, I suggest you check it out. They and I was surprised, and I respect WWE because they did not have to, one, do it, and two, they could have easily said, we're not letting you talk anything about AEW, and they did not hold anything back as far as I could see. I'm pretty sure behind the scenes, they were sort of like, okay, we're not going to talk about this, we're not going to talk about that. But they still let Chris Jericho say, hey, I didn't like this, this is why I went here, this is why I'm enjoying, this is what I like. But I also saw the wheels turning for Chris Jericho to come back possibly for a Hall of Fame induction or something like that. So that's what that was about.
They're going to put him in the Hall of Fame, and I think he only has a 4-year contract with AEW.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, I really liked that interview because it didn't feel like wrestlers talking. They just felt like two brothers just talking about their love for wrestling. And I'm glad they got to mention AEW, New Japan, basically everything. So
correct.
And it's Stone Cold. Vince lets him do whatever the hell he wants. And he knows that he's a big fan of AEW and a lot of people. Like, I won't be surprised at one point, not anytime soon, we might be seeing Kenny Omega on there. Because he's a big fan of his.
Jericho has 1 year left on his contract. This is what I'm being told right now.
He only had I thought he had like 4 years.
He probably had 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
He probably had 3, so he'll be in his last year right now. I can see him going back to WWE after. I can. Not necessarily saying it's going to happen. I think he's enjoying the placement he has, but toward the end of his career, because he said he only had like 2 or 3 years left. I think he'll probably want that WWE.
And if they have him there, they'll probably just do the same thing, the part-time thing. And the man, he could be somebody's manager. He can still move in the ring.
He can do commentary too. He can do a lot. He can do a lot of things. Chris Jericho is very good at almost anything he does. Xia Li character is dope. I can see Zoe Stark as a future heel possibly. Chris Harris, why they move Pat to SmackDown? Don't they need him on NXT? NXT does not need his character. They needed somebody else on that the headset because Samoa Joe. We'll talk more about that in a second. Should Cameron Grimes be called up and have a feud with Sammy? No. Cameron Grimes should not be called up, should not have a feud with Sammy. Cameron Grimes can be called up. I like him. I think he's good, but right now
of course you like him, but
Cameron Grimes is good. He's going to take us all to the moon. I love him.
If he didn't take us to the moon by now, then he's never going to take us because he's been doing this
not
same shit for the past 3 years. No.
That's true. They did not promote the podcast on WWE. You are absolutely correct on that because they're not going to do it on WWE television. They did it on YouTube and stuff, but they would not do it on television. Mention AEW. They're smart. They know what they're doing. Patrick Nelson says, be sure to like, heart, and comment. And I'm sure Patrick did it himself since he said it. No, Patrick did not. Doesn't that sound familiar?
He did it.
Doesn't that sound familiar? Classic Patrick. Something else to do. He hasn't done it yet. Ruben Lopez says, not my Samoa Joe. Spelled Samoa Joe wrong, so of course it's not just Samoa Joe. And George Lewis says, Xia Li could be a future NXT Women's Champion. I think she is the one, if I were to bet money right now, maybe not 6 months from now, but bet money right now to take that title away from Raquel Gonzalez, my money is on Xia Li.
Are they creating a little faction with Xia Li?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I saw
Anybody from the East can join Xia Li. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the end of the SmackDown portion. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Steamin' Willie Beamin is going to be here with his brand new segment. I can't wait to hear his thoughts when it comes to World Wrestling. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. Executive Consultant, wash your ass. You're watching Unpopular Review.
Is Darth Vader my father? Your father is.
You must fight, then you will meet your destiny.
2 million will be crushed, and young Skywalker will be one of us.
Yo. It's your man Steamin' Willie Beamin here tonight. We on the SmackDown edition of Unpopular Review show. Started my new segment tonight. I need the fans' help because I don't know if I want to name it what makes Beamin steaming or what gets Beamin really steaming. But anyway, I'm gonna talk about things in the week of WWE from WrestleMania all the way to SmackDown. They got me steaming, man. Things that ain't make sense. Things that just had you go, what the hell was that? Starting with Mania, I want to shout out the first African American women in the main event, WrestleMania, Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair. 4.5-star match. It was amazing, man. I think WrestleMania should be 2 nights from now on. Now that I want to mention that, things that about Mania that got me steaming was how the Fiend lose like that. Like, and the reason, the way he lost, like, why is it that he supposed to be this unstoppable force, but he keep on losing? George, my man, what's going on, George? What's going on, my man? Second thing, that had me steaming. I didn't understand why Matt Riddle lost like that. I get it. I thought they was giving him this major push, and then on Raw, he got his ass beat, just handed to him. But that bro kick was impressive though. So that bro kick didn't have me steaming. What else? Night 2, the triple threat match. What made me steaming about that is, the ending, I guess, because you have the tribal chief, Babe Ruth in it by doing what he said he was gonna do by beating them and stacking them. Shout out Roman and shout out Jay, man. I ain't gonna lie, like, this is some of the best work we seen from heels. Jay is one of the best hype mans. Like, I don't think we seen that since Miz and John Morrison got back together. Another thing that grinded my gears, not grinded my gears, but made me steaming about Nate Beamin steaming about Raw. I didn't like the whole New Day thing. This kind of New Day starting to get played out. I don't know if it's that's the losing Big E or Big E being on SmackDown or whatever, but starting to run blank. All right, let's move to NXT. What got Beamin steaming is they released everybody, but they still got goddamn Velveteen Dream on the roster. I don't get that. Another thing that has Beamin steaming is the year anniversary of I guess you call it Black Tuesday, or Black whatever it was on last year when all the superstars got released. They released another batch. They dropped the ball with Samoa Joe, and then you release him. We about to probably see major things from him in AEW. Who else? Well, everybody else I can see why though. Mojo, he needed to go. Bo Dallas. Well, no, I wish we could have got Bo Dallas could have stayed because we could have got the the Wyatt family revamped with the Fiend and everybody. But anyway, SmackDown. Let's go. Well, I skipped NXT. NXT wasn't too much really bad with NXT other than like I said, the fact that it was born a little bit. The women's little tribute that was kind of dope, But other than that, NXT really wasn't that memorable. Let's jump to SmackDown. Like I said, another thing that grinded my gears is Roman Reigns. I mean, not grinding my gears, but got me steaming is Roman Reigns, man. Like the best thing they could have did is put him with Paul Heyman, but he's just like he needs to change his apparel or something, man, because it's just Oh, Elvis, AEW. The only thing I said about AEW this week I ain't like is Darby Allin doing the little spat like Jeff did from off the top of the little podium thing. AEW is, I mean, they cracked 1 million views. I mean, in ratings, but it's just overly spatted, and we're not even talking about AEW. We're talking about WWE right now. Bang bang. Anyway, like I said, back to SmackDown. What else? Oh. Then I'm ready to see Nia Jackson them go ahead and lose the tag titles now. I'm ready for that. That's because Natalia and Tamia think it to be a fresh look. Other than that, those things that had Beamin steaming this week in the world of wrestling might change the name, might do some things a little different next Friday. Tell you about the good, the bad, the ugly, something like that. I might do that next. I don't know. But y'all go ahead and vote on that. Y'all go ahead and give me y'all suggestions. We are for the fans at UPR. Oh. My views are my views alone, and do not reflect the brand at all. I just wanted to say that the goddamn Top Dogs, that sounds like a homosexual love position. I don't know what the fuck.
Oh my God, he deleted your comment for a reason. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Stephen Willie Beamin's first section. We're actually going to go into our booking segment. Willie, I want you to stick around for that because I want you to opinions on that.
I would.
Fine, go ahead and roll the commercial money.
So what are you saying? You can't buy love? That's a bit of a cliche, don't you think?
It's absolutely true.
Well, let's test the cliche. Suppose I were to offer you $1 million for one night with your wife.
David, I think you want me to do it.
Why do you want to do it?
No. I want.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Unpopular Views. Executive Consultant Stephen Willie Beamin, our special guest tonight from Beating Faces on YouTube, the first lady of UPR, none other than the Brooklyn Wolf of Makeup. Wash her ass herself, letting you know about yourselves. Now,
hold on. I hate to interrupt you.
Sure, go ahead.
I have to say, hey, First Lady.
Hey.
They definitely brought me in on my segment, so I didn't get to greet the First Lady of the UPR world, universe, fucking galaxy. Shout out to you and your makeup channel. I hope it continue to grow and do numbers. And we're glad to have you back. Sorry you had to be with the executive asshole and myself, but you know.
I mean, I didn't have the pleasure to, be in the presence of the executive consultant the last time for our anniversary, not that long. So, oh yeah, I think once a year dose is fine for me.
Yeah, you got to take them like the drug addicts do fentanyl. Not really too much at all.
Oh, you know what? If Chris only came once a year, he would have 2 children. But ladies and gentlemen, please understand that we are here. God. Make sure that you like, love, and share this. If you have not done it yet, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that love button, hit that share button. Next month is actually WrestleMania Backlash. Not only is the WrestleMania Backlash on May 16th, the day before is May 15th, ladies and gentlemen, which is none other than the executive consultant's birthday. And I don't know why I invited you to stay, but he chooses to spend his birthday none other than that place he can't stand the most, which is New York City, for the WrestleMania Backlash viewing party that UPR is going to host. So I'm going to be there. And I'm going to have an exclusive list of people who I want to come. And of course, Brooklyn Wolf of Makeup, I want you there for it.
Fine.
It's going to be a great time. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be in the house. I'm going to be drunk. And yes, I will be loud. and not sweet because I'm not sweet. But let's go ahead and talk.
You have your sweet moments.
I'm never sweet. We talked about some of the stuff that I had written down to talk about in this segment earlier. That's fine. I have 2 things left, but they're going to be extensive. And the second thing I want to talk about, we're going to play a game. So all those people you have pictures of, Kaden, that were not released, I want you to post them up, and then the 3 of us are going to say they deserve to stay, they deserve to go. It's going to be a very fun game that we're going to play, and then we're going to wrap it up. Ladies and gentlemen,
one day.
Anybody else you think that possibly should have been on the release thing, Kaden, go ahead and put their picture in there. We'll talk about that in a second. But the first thing I want to talk about, I posted a few posts this week. This other poll I talked about is a big topic. WrestleMania was 2 nights this year, 2 nights last year. Some people have said they wanted it to remain 2 nights. Some people have said they wanted to go back to 1 night. This poll that I posted normally is split down the middle. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your opinions. I'll go first. I said it already. I wanted to say 1 night. I think 1 night is better. Doesn't necessarily need to be 6 hours, but I think 1 night is better. And I think what hurts a lot of people's feelings when I say this is I know 2 nights gives everybody a WrestleMania, but not everybody needs to be on the WrestleMania card. Not everybody deserves it. No offense. I just say take nothing away from you, but not everybody needs to be on WrestleMania or deserves to be on the WrestleMania card. If they don't make it, I'm sorry. Better luck next year. I don't need you to have 2 nights because every single internet wrestling fan wants their Ricochet to be on WrestleMania.
Aww,
he didn't even poor David. That's why he go back in your row. So it's just how it is. That's my opinion. I think 2 nights, it was a little too much. I enjoyed it. If they do it, I'll suck it up and I'll take it. Pause. But I really do believe that 1 night is better than 2. Stop shaking your head because of that comment.
When you was talking earlier, I was like, when we was backstage, I was like, whoa.
Anyway,
Chris is in a mood.
Anyway,
like, feeling free tonight.
Willie, I always feel free. Willie, what do you think? 2 nights, 1 night, your thoughts?
Well, see, I really like the 2 night thing. Now if they're gonna go back to the 3-hour show and condense it, then yeah, 1 night fine. But if they're gonna do, hold on, I gotta go back to that.
I was wondering what was gonna take us so long. How do you know what the time is?
I mean, first of all, I am an ally of the LGBT community. First of all,
Fowler Club is friendly.
Not only am I an ally, I am not transphobic, homophobic. I am no phobic. So thank you very much. I am familiar with y'all terminology. Thank you very much. And I watch Pose. Thank you. Anyway.
I love you, Willie. I missed you.
Anyway, go try to see if I'm an ally or not. You like Black Lives Matter, motherfuckers? Like, nah. Anyway,
I'm dead.
As far as my thoughts, though, like I said, they could this is the 3 hours back and really have the meaningful matches and the meaningful storylines during Mania. Then I'm all for 1 night, but being as though COVID and being as though we really not gonna get probably 80,000 in the stadiums no more and things like that. The 2 nights can be kind of cool. With everything that they have going on, I think 2 nights give them kind of a competition with the Ring of Honor, Slammiversaries, and things, other promotions that try to get in on that back end of WrestleMania weekend. Yeah, like I said, I'm cool with the 2 nights. This 2 night was way better than the damn 5-hour show we got. What was that? Year before last?
WrestleMania 34, 35, and 33, and
That's
32.
Like 10 hours long.
All 5 hours. WrestleMania 35 was 5 hours and 20 minutes.
So without it being, all a wrestling overload to where you're like, man, I'm fucking tired of this shit. Yeah, 2 nights. I say 2 nights is cool, unless, like I say, they condense it to the meaningful storylines and have it to where Mania it's back to its luster. Like Mania is like either you starting something or you're starting your rise with the Intercontinental belt or the US belt, or you crowned the new tag champions, or if the Rumble winner wins the match, and don't do no dumb shit like have them face Big Show right after it. You know what I mean? As long as it return back to its prestige, I'm with it. All means.
All right, April.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I do feel it should just be 1 night. I felt like with this WrestleMania, there were so many matches that could have been avoided, It could have been off the card. And I feel like if they just stuck with the main title matches and maybe one extreme match, I would be completely fine. Like what you said, Chris. Like, yeah, you had a good year, but WrestleMania should be for the title ones. We need like what you said, Willie. Like crown a new reign and a new era. Like do something. WrestleMania is supposed to be like meaningful. I mean, like I said, like Cesaro, this was a meaningful thing, but it would have meant more if he had a title shot and then won that.
Or like if it would have been like to me that I'm sorry to interrupt you, but to me the Intercontinental belt and the USA belt has really lost their value. Normally when you get the Intercontinental belt, when you think of the Warriors, the Shawn Michaels, the Bret Harts, like when you the Macho Man Randy Savages, like when you got that belt, the Stone Colds and even the Rocks, like when you got that belt, you was on your way to something.
Like I feel they tried that with Big E, but they missed it. Like Big E could have brought that title back, but
that was something else that had me.
Look about it last year with the United States Championship. As soon as he lost it, his next match pretty much was for the WWE World Title. He won it.
But can we be honest? Did we? I mean, the way he won it and them breaking up the Hurt Business and things like that. Like, I mean, to me, like it's like, okay, Bobby, we giving you this belt either because we don't know if we want Drew to have it until we get Brock back, or we finally gonna set up for you and Brock. And then what's the use of having Brock come back if you're not gonna have Brock win the belt? But then he's only gonna be a part-timer, so that's fucking like that's to me that's pointless right now. Even if you waiting till the fucking fans come back, like to me it's like.
That's possible, but I could piggyback off of something you said. You like, well, wrestling, you're like, oh, you wrestle. Now, I agree, and Derek mentioned earlier about the best Raw after WrestleMania, which WrestleMania 28 when Brock Lesnar came out. I was actually in Miami. I was supposed to go. I decided not to go because I was tired and exhausted from WrestleMania, which at that time was only 4 hours. But they had, Rock and Cena and the Hell in a Cell match with Undertaker and Triple H. I was exhausted, and I regretted about it. But if you want to talk about being too burnt out, WrestleMania, granted, 33 I went to was a 5 hour and 10-minute event. WrestleMania 35, which was in New York, was 5 hours and 20 minutes. But if you have WrestleMania 2 nights, this is what your schedule is going to look like. Monday, you have Raw. Tuesday, NXT. Wednesday, TakeOver. Thursday, Hall of Fame. Friday, SmackDown. Saturday, WrestleMania. Sunday, WrestleMania. Monday, Raw. Tuesday, NXT. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 days in a row of straight WWE. And we're going to talk about a lot of pressure these shows are going to have on. That's the Raw before WrestleMania. WWE fans are going to crucify it if it's not good. NXT before TakeOver, same thing. TakeOver has to be on fire. Hall of Fame, respect value. SmackDown before WrestleMania, same factor. WrestleMania night 1. If WrestleMania night 1 is not good, let's put some more pressure on night 2. If WrestleMania night 1 is good, which it was this year, then night 2 better be just as good, or they're going to crap on it, which they somewhat did this year, to be honest with you. A lot of people are talking about how night 1 was so much better than night 2. That's fine. And then you have Raw. Raw after Mania has to be fire. Then you have NXT. That's just a lot. It is a lot, right? You don't need WrestleMania 2 nights. Give me a nice solid 4.5 hour in a kickoff show, and you're good. I see the benefit of it, but I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it.
I do want to say, like, especially now they're trying to bring NXT even more on the map because they're on Tuesdays, so they want to see how they're doing. I wouldn't mind if they added an NXT title match at Mania.
And I agree with that one as well.
That would be really good. Like, y'all want to put NXT on the map. Oh, shit, now you have to watch. They're going to have a match at WrestleMania. Just give me all title matches from every brand, not 205 Live or the 3 main brands, and then 1 extreme match. And that's it. Give us you said, I could deal with a 4 hour
Super Bowl. It's supposed to be the Super Bowl. So I completely agree with you on that one. It just makes more sense.
It doesn't need to be long. Like the Super Bowl is usually 3.5 hours because it's a game. So they go on by the time, and if they go into overtime,
and then you got the halftime show that's like 30 minutes.
And they can have a concert.
Who they have the promo packages and the entrances, and add those up together. That's already an automatic half hour, even more.
And you can even have your bathroom break like they did at 37 with my Bad Bunny match.
Oh my God, that was a great match.
Out Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny actually did good.
He put the work in. He did good.
For him to be a celebrity, and you think of all the celebrities that's been in the ring, Mr. T, Lawrence Taylor.
I was more respectful of Logan Paul. I deleted that. I will delete you off of Wednesday's show if you don't get that shit off my screen right now. Logan Paul was more respected to me.
The way Logan Paul took that stunner,
he should have never been there. He's a fucking garbage person.
He went out there. He didn't try to put himself over. He didn't try to beat up anybody. He took the stunner, and that was it. That was great.
Him taking that stunner looked like it hurt. It almost.
It should.
No, but he didn't take it at all. Like he didn't put his knees down. None of that.
Everybody sells differently. Everybody sells differently.
That was almost Randy Orton and Kofi stupid the way that thing looked.
Get out of here with that. Let's go into the next segment. We 2 people for one night, 1 person for 2 nights. Like I said, no matter what happens, we don't run it, so they do 2 nights. I'll be there for both nights. It is what it is.
I mean, I do want to go to Mania just one time.
Go to Dallas.
I don't want to go to 2, especially if there's matches that I want to see. I don't want to go for one, like a couple of matches, then the other one for another couple of matches. It's a lot, especially the way wrestling is right now. Because for Mania week, they had the collective with the indie scene, so there were wrestling shows all the time, and there were a lot of people who were there went to Mania. So no matter what, even though there are other parts of wrestling that is growing, WWE always proves that they're always going to be number 1.
Correct, and that happened right here in Tampa, even with the pandemic. But that happened right here in Tampa because Dave and I went to Tampa on Saturday to go to WrestleMania Night 1, and then he went back to his hotel. I went back to my hotel. We met up on Sunday morning. Then we had to drive back to Orlando because he had a show he was refereeing, and I was supposed to commentate. Unfortunately, we had technical difficulties, and I couldn't commentate that event. And then we drove right back to Tampa again for WrestleMania Night 2. That's just a lot. It's just a lot. So
but wrestling fans will do what it takes.
Yeah, and that's what we do. That's what we did. And even after that show, because they had the show early in the morning, because they knew a lot of wrestlers wouldn't have been there or fans would have been there. Because when WrestleMania's on, that's where they at. And there were almost every single one of those wrestlers that were at that event we went to WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. They said I think their fans attendance they put was 25,675 times 2. Dave and I will tell you, I honestly believed it was more than 25,000.
I
believe that. WWE is known sometimes for overstating how many people were there. I'm positive they understated how many people were there this year. It was a lot of people. I'm not saying it was sold out. It was nowhere near sold out. They definitely had seats. They definitely had cutouts, but I think it was around the 30 to 35,000 mark more. So it was a lot of people there. But
I just hope
great time, and I was negative on my test too. So
I just really hope that there weren't too many, people who ended up getting COVID because.
Well, I mean, next year they gonna be in Dallas, so them being in Dallas and Texas.
I mean, we'll see. Hopefully, by next year they should be able to have. Because this is what it was. What 20% capacity each day? I don't know how much the capacity it was.
I think it was more like 35%.
So hopefully, maybe next year people start washing their ass and doing what the fuck y'all got to do.
People always
probably have maybe 50%.
But now you think about the way Texas is.
Well, then this pandemic ain't gonna go away.
Texas just had a baseball event that had 40,000 people there. Yeah. By this time next year, they'll allow everybody there. Remember, Texas.
Well, it's Texas, so
yeah, that is Texas. But the WWE, their question is, pandemic aside, is going to be: would they rather have the one night of 100,000 people or 2 nights of 70,000 people? That's my question. I ask any businessman.
Always,
it's money. It's money, and right now I saw what they did when I came home. I saw what they did. They had the whole top section LED screen, computerized, covering the top section because there were fans there, and you couldn't see the fans because they covered it up on TV. So they can do that. So 70,000 fans, they can still make it look like 100,000 easily. I can see them going to 2 nights, but we'll see. It depends on the money. Let's go to the next segment. Here's how we're going to do this. We're going to talk about the releases, and you can put the releases up to people who released. We're going to talk about whether we agree or whether we do not agree. And then after that, we're going to talk about the producer in the back. He's going to put up a picture, and we're going to say, should they have released them or should they have kept them? But I'll start right here. These are 9, and the 10th one was Mojo Rawley of people who released. Now, everybody's going all crazy, right? I'll start off by saying this. WWE has, if you include Raw, NXT, SmackDown, NXT UK, 205 Live, Performance Center, they have over 150 wrestlers on contract. Okay, I say this every year. They could lose some wrestlers. All right, because too many people, if they joke around, are back in catering. or they're sitting at home in a farm, the center person included, right? They're not doing anything. Yet you're paying these people at least $250,000 a year. Despite what you may think, this is a business, all right? So even though your favorite might be on there, what are they doing for you? Tucky. I'm sorry. I don't see money in you. You got to go. My opinion. This forgotten son is best to be forgotten. Your partner's gone. Nobody remembers you. You need to go. Kalisto, excellent talent. You need to go. Peyton Royce. Here's a controversial one. People, look at you. Look at April's face. Show April's face real quick.
No, but I get why. I get why, but still.
Peyton Royce. No. Bo Dallas has not done anything since he was in the Miztourage. I'm sorry. I was a fan of Bo Dallas, especially when he first got called up and when he was in Miztourage. When Miz left him or he left Miz, hasn't done anything. Just being Bray Wyatt's brother is not they were born. Just being Bray Wyatt's brother does not keep you in a contract. Chelsea Green, since you got put in WWE, you just got injured. You weren't doing anything. You look good. I'll give you credit. You have $1 million body. You're a decent character, but your in-ring work is not worth the money we pay you to keep getting injured. Now let's talk about the top three, because the top three. Oh, Mojo, I was a fan of, but what have you done since WrestleMania 33? Right. The top.
I'm glad all their ass is gone except for Samoa Joe.
The top three are the ones that people complain about the most. Now, I'll tell you the one that hurts my heart the most. Billie Kay. Huge fan of Billie Kay, right? She's a very entertaining character. She was on a roll. Why you would let her go, I'm not sure, because I really thought you were doing excellent work, and I was proud of you. However, your in-ring work still was not on par with everybody else on Raw and SmackDown. I would have kept her as like a manager role. I thought she was good as the third member of the Riot Squad. I don't understand why they dropped that angle. Okay? Yes, Chelsea did just get cleared. Who cares? All right, she wasn't going to do it. She would have got injured tomorrow. True. Mickie James, I disagreed with. You brought her back almost 5 years ago. You've done practically dick with her. Right?
I mean, what is it to do with her, though? If they
exactly.
That's my point. There wasn't much left to do with her. Can she still go in the ring? Yes, but she is not where she was before. She's not getting where she was before. And another thing that if you look at these people, they have futures. They're just not in WWE. Tucky can go reinvent himself on the indie circuit. So could what's his face? Blake. Kalisto can definitely find some work elsewhere. He's solid in the ring. Chelsea Green grew up in the independent circle, and her husband or boyfriend, fiance, is Matt Cardona, Impact Wrestling. She can easily go back to Impact Wrestling.
Possibly.
Bo Dallas looks like he was transitioning outside of wrestling anyway. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay can easily be formed to Iconics and be all over the independent circle if they wanted to, because that's money right there, because people like the Iconics. Mickie James can go join her husband easily in NWA. And Samoa Joe, the one that hurts everybody the most, Samoa Joe also. I explained this the other day. Samoa Joe has been on the main roster for 4 years. Has appeared at one WrestleMania because that was the only time he wasn't injured during WrestleMania season. Samoa Joe is one of the best overall wrestlers in the business right now. I give you that, Willie. I understand where you're coming from. But if you've been in the company for 4 years and you're have that much of a push like Samoa Joe has, yet you can't even make WrestleMania season, that's a problem.
But he's been doing great on commentary, though.
Yeah,
I don't think he wants to be on commentary. I don't think he wants to be on commentary.
But it's like they're getting punished for the lack of creative, though. Like lack of what creative can do with them.
Well, how much can creative work with you if you get injured?
I mean,
pop in Derek Mitchell's comment for me real quick.
They had no reason to break up the Iconics at all. At all.
Samoa Joe had a 5-year run as a performer. He's 42 years old and has been injured the last year. Concussion also. I agree with you on commentary, but I think he really wants to get, especially since he's 42, he's at the twilight of his career probably. He probably want to get in there, mix it up, and then want to just sit behind a desk.
But then he could still be on commentary while still working on that until he's ready to get back in the ring.
He might have been ready to get back in the ring as far as he's concerned, but then get cleared by WWE doctors. I don't know what happened there. And you're right, George. I can see them on Impact Wrestling.
It's just so disrespectful. Just so disrespectful. They never made that man champion.
Don't they have don't some of the released wrestlers have non-compete clauses?
90 days. All the wrestlers have
They all
90
get
days.
90 days.
Unless your name is Andrade because Charlotte cried.
Yeah, basically.
Impact might scoop half of them up. I can't say he's going to scoop it. AEW can scoop them up too. That's not going to. Let me explain something. AEW, April's an AEW mark. AEW's got all these WWE wrestlers that they scoop up. What have any of them done?
Moxley was the champ.
Outside of John Moxley and Chris Jericho, what has any of them done? Look at
Revival.
FTR has done absolutely crap on AEW.
Oh, they didn't win the belts, but they having the more.
They gave them a good start. They gave them a good start, but after they lost the belts to the Bucks, that's when they started sliding in, and now just have this whole Pinnacle thing, trying to bring up MJF, which is completely fine. I feel they should take Mickie James, but only as like a trainer, because they have a strong women's division. They have great talent. It's still guidance. It's getting better, but they're not there yet. And they don't really have too many female vets in the back. They have Thunder Rosa helping them train, but she's only been in the game for 5 years. Vicky Guerrero, she was never a wrestler. She was a manager. And Dusty Rhodes and QT are training these women, and they're doing a good job, but they need more female vets to help them in the ring because men can only do so much with women. Training wise, so I feel she would be really good for to be backstage. Like I said, she doesn't have to come in the ring. If she wants to be a manager, she could, but I want to see her more backstage.
I agree. They need that. They need that vet. They don't have that female vet back there, so I agree. She'll be fantastic in AEW. And I wouldn't mind seeing that. And to correct you, Willie, FTR did win the tag titles. They just almost immediately dropped them to the Young Bucks. When they were on SmackDown Raw for the 3 years they were on, they won 3 World Tag Team Championships, and they complained.
They begged for those.
They begged for them, and then only they want the release to go AEW and end up doing the same exact thing they did when they were on Raw and SmackDown. I'm sorry, they have not done anything different than they were on the main roster of WWE.
The only difference with them on AEW was the whole BTE hype, because it was always FTR for years. So we had this feud, and it would have been a lot better if we had a live crowd, because if we watch it, we know what's up. But like I said, they came in strong. They had this good thing going on with the Bucks, but after they lost the titles, they just been there.
I agree. Go comment. George Samuel Lewis. Rusev has done nothing except being on YouTube. 100%.
Rusev, another one.
Rusev should have been a main eventer almost immediately in AEW, and he has done even less than he was doing on SmackDown Raw. Now, granted, I think a year from now that might change, but for now he has not done anything. Alana is out here outshining him a little bit. Highlight Mad Dog Kelly's comment for me, please. Give Joe the AEW belt. I don't see it happening. Christian just showed up. He's going to end up in a feud with Kenny Omega sooner or later because he outworks everybody.
Nah, man. I can see Joe going to AEW. And
I want Joe, and we need that match with MJF.
Yeah.
Highlight Derek Mitchell's comment. Please do not tell me about Samoa Joe not being champion. There are plenty of Hall of Famers that never was WWE champion. Mr. Perfect, Scott Hall, Ted DiBiase, Paul Orndorff. Hell, Roddy Piper, one of the most popular wrestlers ever, wasn't WWF champion at the height of WWE.
But the difference between all of them, they had like iconic mid-card runs. Whether IC belt, whether it was like Joe don't have a Piper.
No, he is champion. In every promotion that man's worked in, he was champion.
Oh, I know. I definitely know.
He also was not injured as frequently as he was in WWE. He had one United States Championship run, and they had to cut him short because he got injured.
Yeah.
So if you automatically come on and constantly get injured, why would I put my top title on you where I need you to be healthy and ready to go, and you're going to get injured midway into your run?
I mean,
it's still a business. You got to remember that. It's still a business. Speaking of business, let's go ahead into the final segment. Let's throw out the names. Hey, you can pick out whatever picture you want, Caden. Put the picture up, and the three of us are going to say, keep them, dump them. That's what I'm going to call this. Oh, actually, no, this is called the release party. Go ahead. Start.
He could go. He's not doing nothing. He could go.
I actually enjoyed his segment with Nia Jax.
He's fun, but...
Depending on how he is backstage.
He's kind of one-dimensional to me.
He got the Busta Rhymes hairline.
I got 2 dumpers. I'm gonna say when it comes to Reginald, I will keep him. Next person.
Bye.
Now,
bye,
this is
bitch.
controversial.
Bye, bitch. Bye, bitch.
I'm interested to hear Willie's opinion on the Velveteen.
I know, because we had some history with this guy.
Just because I'm so disappointed in him, like he was on the track to probably be the NXT champion and everything, and then like I said, me being a father, man, like I don't care if you're 17 legal age or what, but if you're 24 plus, like that's just off limits, and just because that's the only reason why he really didn't get in trouble for because of where it was at and that little rule. He got to go, man. I'm sorry, even though he from my area, even though I did one of my monikers out there, man, as a man, he violated all codes of manhood. Like you are a star on and you can have grown women your age, all that. So for you to do that not once, but they said I think it was probably 3 times, like yeah, like and then the way they brought him back with the James Brown fucked up wedding set and the blonde, like it just made it worse. So dump his ass. Get his ass out of here.
Post this picture back up for me, producer. So when it comes to the Velveteen Dream, here's the issue. WWE sees a star in him. He was so freaking over for the longest time.
No.
So over, so many insiders, so many people from inside the company, outside the company were saying he was the next big star, future main eventer at WrestleMania. He was that charismatic. His height of his popularity, you definitely saw in him, only for it to hit the roadblock of what he did in those DMs. What went down in those DMs.
Can I just say something real quick?
Of course.
And this is why I kind of hate wrestling today. Like, we all grew up with believing in kayfabe. We didn't know who these people were. We didn't really find out everyone's dirty laundry unless it was something drastic as we got older, where we got the internet and started seeing like, oh, this person is not who they are. And I gotta say, I'm not saying every wrestler back then was innocent. Of course not.
Of course not.
But I just miss wrestling that it was just, this is the character. I don't know anything about you. And if this was the case, then whoever the real Velveteen Dream is could have stayed in his little closet. Hopefully got exposed. But he could have been something.
He is definitely a dick. I just see him downtown Orlando one day. He went right past me. All I said was Velveteen Dream. I didn't want to autograph or anything. And he just ignored me. And I know he heard me. I heard it was him and Priest before I actually met Priest. It was him and Priest. Both of them dicks. I don't like either one of them. Well, Priest is okay. Priest is okay. We've had
He's from the Bronx.
Yeah. He looked at me like I was crazy because Matt told Jamie, he was like, yeah, he's a big King Corbin fan. And he looked at me like, why? Why? I like King Corbin. Get out my face. You know, Matt always teases me about it because he was in the middle. Because Matt was in the middle of King Corbin at the time. Anyway.
Speaking of which, can I make a request to put King Corbin into this little slide thing and also Austin Theory? Because there's a couple ones.
Anyway, so Velveteen Dream, to April's point, put him back. To April's point, the problem is they take him off of TV because they're hoping the people will ignore it. And they keep him off for months. Every time since then, they put him back on TV. He trends on Twitter in such a negative way that they had him off again for months, and they did releases, and he started trending again. That tells me people are never going to let it go. People are never going to forget it. Unfortunately, Velveteen and Patrick, you are probably going to have to cut your losses and find a new career. This is not going to work for you at this point. Go ahead and put up the next person, which is Jackson Riker.
Bye. Too.
I have to agree.
To Lou.
I don't know, but I'm not even talking about
Let him go. Just let him go for his sanity.
Let him go so he can actually work.
I will say keep him.
Or send him back to NXT.
Aleister Black, I would keep around, but I would give him one more chance to see what he can do. Otherwise than that, I will let him go. Because, you know, everybody's always like, yeah, exactly. He was better in NXT. It's not his fault. It's not the main roster's fault. He didn't get over the main roster.
It's the gimmick.
Before the pandemic, he just was not, nobody cared.
That's true.
That's it. His gimmick does not work well on the mainstream. But I would see if you can revamp his character and see what can work. So I would keep him for that.
Because the last feud he really had was with Buddy Murphy, and oh yeah, he's next.
Jordan Devlin.
Baby Finn could go too.
Get the woman beat out of here.
I didn't know exactly what he did until y'all told me in pre-production, so I would say let him go as well.
Disappointed.
Next person. Ricochet.
Let him go for his sanity. Go back to Lucha Underground, bring Prince Puma, get a manager, or go to New Japan. Just
Yeah, let
David can follow his bae anywhere else.
David will download whatever platform he needs to get to Ricochet in his penis. Yeah, but anyway, look, here's the thing. Same thing about Aleister Black. I will repackage Ricochet and see what he can do because he's a solid talent. I think he's missing something. Randy Orton actually just said that in his podcast, well, a snippet of his podcast, that he's a very good talent. He's just missing something. He would love to help him. And I think with his character, he needs that guidance. If you give him that guidance, I think he can get over because he's a really good talent. Needs to slow down the ring, not always have to do high spots all the time. I think that's one of his problems. But once you do that, I think he's a good get. So I would actually keep Ricochet.
You got to think about Ricochet on the mic. It's like once he opened his mouth, it's like
he should get a manager.
It's been the same thing with Cesaro. If you pay attention to Cesaro today, his interviews were short.
No, but
they actually cut him off.
No, Ricochet is terrible. That's why he had a manager in Lucha Underground.
But not only is it terrible, but just like his tone of voice, like he has that dorky,
dorky.
Yeah, like dorky, like preppy type, like voice when he's talking, like, and it's like
just send the SmackDown, put him with Paul Heyman, watch him be a fucking star within 6 months.
Yeah, just give him
he needs a manager. David, go be his manager. You're good.
No, his voice is more annoying. Jeff Hardy is another talent being wasted in WWE. Hopefully they push him when he returns. Here's my issue with Jeff Hardy, former multi-time world champion. We talked about with Samoa Joe. Jeff Hardy, the difference is Jeff Hardy just pushes through with all his injuries.
Oh, he's up
Jeff
in
Hardy
too.
Yeah, he's about the same age, I think, as Samoa Joe. But Jeff Hardy
is a WWE guy originally. Samoa Joe's not.
Jeff Hardy, it says he's come back, in my opinion, has just been injured the whole time. Every time I see him, he just looks like he's injured. He's limping around.
He keeps doing these crazy high spots, and
he's actually slowed
realize
it down a little bit. He slowed it down a little bit, but he still does it.
But he still got babies. Like he stopped.
He hasn't been on in almost over a month now. He wasn't anywhere to be found in WrestleMania.
No,
he's just injured. It's not much you can do with him. He's just there really to put people over, and it's sad to say because he was so
I'm fine with that.
Time, but that's what it is. See, this is what I'm talking about with the trolls. Take him out. This is what I'm talking about. Nobody in their right mind would say get rid of Miz. That doesn't make sense.
I don't like how Miz went from 2 weeks from being the WWE champion to fucking fight a feud with fucking Bad Bunny.
Well, I will say this, and this is to be me serious now, not just joking around. But that match with Bad Bunny was very good. And if you don't think Miz was the ring general in that match, then there's something wrong.
He was.
Miz playing that whole match. So I think he didn't lose anything by losing the world title. He had it, and he probably knew he was going to lose it in a week or two. But he played the fuck out of that role that he did when he won that title. He was all over the internet, and he was telling everybody to cry. It was gold. It was gold. I wish he had it a little bit longer, but it was Bobby Lashley's time, and he deserved it. Put somebody else up. Roderick Strong, if he's not NXT, I would say let him go.
He's not that good on the mic, and he doesn't really have a character.
I would say keep him in NXT or make him a trainer.
Yeah, I would exactly.
I can see him as a trainer.
That's
right. Or he could go back to ROH.
But he's still relatively young. He should go to ROH. He's still relatively young. He still has a long career ahead of him. I would definitely keep. Hey, shout out to Grandma NXT in the back. Such a sweet lady. But
hey, Sugarfoot.
She has to be on the show before too. But I actually I will keep her. I will keep him on there. Who else do we have? Drew Gulak.
Let him go.
See Roderick Strong. NXT trainer or Indies. Not all.
They keep trying with him, and it's
the same thing
working.
I say. Trainer or Indy.
I'm surprised he didn't get released, but he just signed a new contract this time last year.
Well, hopefully they'll do something with him.
Vanessa Bourne.
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
She was the NXT for a hot minute. Here's a fun fact: she's actually been on the main roster for a year and a half. She just never debuted. She's another one that's in catering.
Get her ass out of there.
Yo, homegirl got paid to chill.
Y'all seen her multiple times. Y'all just don't remember her because she was on NXT for a while. Her last thing, she was in a tag team with Aaliyah for a hot minute. She was in a tag team with Aaliyah when the women's tag team titles just came out. I'm telling you, I've seen her before.
All right.
Damian Priest is
fine.
His career is gone as Samoa Joe's WWE career. Like he's going to job a lot in the next couple months. He was there to put over Bad Bunny. He is done. All right, I thought he should have stayed in NXT. He was not ready to go main roster. He did not
said that too.
backing for that, and he got lucky because he's Spanish. He's from New York, and he meshed well with Puerto Rico background. He meshed well with Bad Bunny. So he got very good push for that. And what happened when Bad Bunny went to go on tour? After he got the golden briefcase, he lost his first match. Right? That's what happened. I'm telling you, he's done.
Yeah.
He's done. He's done.
We should have never brought him up.
Who else we got? Buddy Murphy.
Bye. He's super talented, and they're not using him.
They did. The last thing I think they did with him was the whole Rey Mysterio's daughter thing, which was so creepy, and it's a shame because that man can move in the ring. No. But I could probably see him. He could probably either show up at AEW or probably at Impact. Yeah. Kenny Omega said he wants to match with him, so he might show up soon.
I will keep Buddy Murphy. I think he has a future.
Yeah, but the character.
The character needs to be tweaked. The character needs to be tweaked.
He probably gonna have to change his hair from the
He needs to be tweaked. He definitely needs to be tweaked. But I can see Buddy Murphy possibly making a run for a mid-card title. Never a main eventer, but possibly making get out of here with that. Possibly making a run for the thing. Get out of here with that. Paige needs to stay. She's going to get better. She's going to come back.
What are you talking about? Leave Paige alone.
Yeah, Paige is going to have one of the biggest pops in wrestling history when she gets. It's going to be like Daniel Bryan and Edge when she comes out of nowhere. And I, you know what? If they're working on it now, I don't care if she's healthy now. I would say don't come out until WrestleMania 20. I'm sorry, Royal Rumble 2022. That's when I will have her come out. The place will go crazy.
That pop going to be like Edge pop.
I will cry.
I agree.
I will cry.
I agree. Put somebody else up, or are we done?
Who's that?
This is he used to be with Mojo's bodyguard, I think.
He was the
Riddick Moss.
Yeah, I'm about to say, wasn't he he was some type of champion, 24/7 champion.
He was a 24/7 champion for a hot minute, and he's still employed in WWE. And the reactions on y'all faces says, yeah,
I don't know who this man is, but let him go.
Get him the
No. Actually,
Nikki Cross.
I say keep her.
You know what? Keep her.
I would keep her.
But send her back to NXT.
I wouldn't send her back to NXT. I think she has a future on Raw or SmackDown. I think it's just not her time. And not everybody can be a main eventer. I say that all the time. Not everybody can be a main eventer at that time.
They should have used her with the whole Alexa Bliss Fiend thing because her
old
character would have fit in perfectly.
Exactly.
And those two could have been women tag titles with the Fiend when he had the title. Yeah. That would have been fire.
Whoa, no, whoa.
Bye.
How dare you? Whoa, how dare you? King Corbin stays.
Babbage.
Outside of him being the longest reigning fucking king of the ring, which I don't
seriously, when is he supposed to lose his crown?
But he's been the king of the ring for like the last 2 years, I think. But
how dare you?
But
I like the Miz. Leave the Miz alone. He's in a good place.
Yeah, he is being disrespectful. How dare you do that? You did it. You're treading the line with King Corbin, but with the Miz, you've gone too far.
Yeah,
I love the Miz.
He really tried it with the Miz.
That is the Miz. Humberto Carrillo.
Get him the fuck out of here.
This is going to sound really racist.
You thought he looked
Give
like
him a manager.
You need some Hispanics in the wrestling.
You do. Rey Mysterio can't be the only one. We lost our other tall Mexican.
Yeah, I would until Rey Phoenix's and Pentagon's contract is up. I would keep Humberto Carrillo.
Give him a manager. That's it.
Possibly. He's a great talent.
Oh my God! What happened to Bay?
Same thing. I would keep him just because
he's still there, ain't he?
Yeah, he is.
Chris, remember that time I met him and I almost got hit by a car?
Yeah.
I appreciate you for calling him for me.
No problem. Austin Theory. I met Angel Garza as a good guy. I met him. He's actually I actually had the pleasure of interviewing him for a second, so he was a really good guy. Austin Theory, fun fact, we actually met him recently at a bar downtown Orlando like last month. He's a cool guy too. But I understand he has some controversy backstage for a while as well.
He made the comments about the women, right?
Yeah,
I understand. He was trying to talk to a 15-year-old, and I understand why because he looks like he's 12. But
he looks like he's 12. But another talent,
hell no,
because he's great in the ring. But bye, bitch. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Ho.
He texted with an underage girl.
Right. Same thing Velveteen Dream did. Same thing Velveteen Dream did. Do we have anybody else? John Laurinaitis. Okay, now the reason I'll come I had Caden put this guy up.
Oh.
This is some history real quick. I want everybody to know this because I see where
Big
Daddy Cool, he posted on Popular Review Twitter, fire Kevin Dunn. I see Kevin Dunn is trending and stuff because they think Kevin Dunn made these calls, which a lot of the names he probably did make the calls, right?
But ain't John Laurinaitis the head of talent relations?
He's the head of talent relations, and people always act like they do this every year. Here's a fun fact. Between 2013 and 2021, or 20, I'll say, because they did this last year.
It was bad last year.
They didn't have that many years where they were releasing talent like that. They were actually holding on, before AEW even showed up, they were actually holding on to a lot of talent. This holding on to talent thing is very, very recent, right? And they just kept building and building and building and building. When they were doing it every year, who was in charge of talent relations? It was actually John Laurinaitis.
Right.
He actually left that position in late 2012, right before the last round of cuts, which included Drew McIntyre and a few people of 3MB and all that other stuff. Then they stopped. Then they had another big one last year, 2020, who just got hired back as Vice President of Talent Relations.
Oh, John Laurinaitis.
And then a year later, they did it again. I'm trying to let everybody know, even though Kevin Dunn and, of course, this man has to sign off on everybody, might have been part of it. John Laurinaitis is the reason why they let people go and they cited due to budget cuts. That is why. However, if you look at it and you put the 9 talents back up there, like I said, you have to understand, no matter what, no matter how much money they make, no matter how many deals they make with NBC, Fox, whoever, WWE is still a business. That is what they are. And they are not going to be the company that they are by having people who are making anywhere between $250,000, which is the base salary of anybody on a main roster contract, and millions of dollars, and all they're doing is sitting home. You understand? They're not touring right now. They're still making money. They're not touring, but we have people who are making $400,000 plus merch sales and everything else who work 1 day a week. Or possibly 2 hours or something like that, and they might not even wrestle. They might have a backstage segment or something. How many people would love to make all that kind of money and not work 5 days a week?
Shit, I would. I would chill at catering for 4 years and not do shit.
Exactly.
Let me get a good training session at the PC. Let me get paid to train at the PC, and then let me go.
It's fine. They don't work. They very rarely, because they don't do the touring. They don't do the signings anymore, anything like that. They don't work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm friends with some of these guys, so it's like, I know. I'm there. I see it. They're chilling. And they go to work on Monday, or Sunday they work on Raw. Sunday they have their COVID test, and then Monday they're at work.
It's still a job at the end of the day.
And it's still a job. If you're not,
and this past year has really showed us that, especially with the whole pandemic, everything got shut down, indie shows, everything. Like, these people lost work. They lost their dreams right now, and now they're getting, back up. So when I heard about the cuts, I wasn't too surprised, because at the end of the day, it's still a job. If you're not doing anything that's going to benefit me or make me money, and I can't work with you, then here you go. Here's your 90 days. You're still going to get paid. But
they still bringing talents. And
but Vince got wrestling to be considered an essential job during this pandemic. Like, we talk about, even the NBA and NFL wasn't even operating, and WWE was allowed to. It's not certain talent fault that they didn't have nothing to do with them, or creative couldn't come up with nothing to do with them.
It's not their fault, but it's still a business.
In some aspects, and it's not their fault that when they get their contract signed, they've been signed into a pool of talent. So, I mean, some of it is a perform base, but then some of it is also,
a lot of them will be better going off to the indies anyway. That, they're not
especially right now. And now there's so much.
Almost all those people have ends in other companies because their husbands are there, their wives are there, or just because, like I said, the Iconics, they have ties to AEW clearly because of Sean Spears. But if you put the Iconics on any independent card, that's automatic money because that's what they are. It's just like
so over. Come on.
They're
go over no matter where they go.
Would they be able to use the Iconics name though?
No, but they don't have to. They'll come up with a different way to doing it.
Of course. And a lot of these people within the past year, they have succeeded. There are more wrestling companies now. ROH is getting back up, so there's everywhere. They have the New Japan Dojo. Leo Rush has come so far this past year.
I've been following him. Man.
It's going
like
wrong.
That kid, he's gonna go to New Japan.
And he's fine. And some people are better off because they got released. Drew McIntyre comes to mind. Look at him. He just main evented Wrestlemania.
Yeah.
World champion. Drew McIntyre is a household name now. Drew McIntyre, better off. Jinder Mahal got better off by being released. That can happen to any of this talent right now. They can go, they can improve in the WWE. I'll even say this, because even though I consider AEW more of a major promotion now, as opposed to indie, but Dean Ambrose, if he comes back as Dean Ambrose in WWE, which I guarantee he will come back one day because there's too much money in the Shield, but his stock has even risen even higher by being Jon Moxley AEW for the past 2 years. So definitely look at that.
Now
he's coming back. I promise you, he will be back.
I just want one more Shield reunion, and I'll be so happy.
The only way that will happen is he comes back to WWE, because you know Roman ain't going to WWE, and you know Seth ain't going to WWE.
No, they ain't going nowhere.
Dean Ambrose coming back to WWE for that, because they need that, and he needs that. And honestly speaking, since he lost the title,
I know, but it's also pandemic shit, and now they got all these thousands of shows. Like, I may love my AEW, but it's been pissing me off lately.
They have 90-some people talent. They have 90-some people on contract. Well, not on contract, but in their talent roster. And I told you WWE has 150, around 150, and they have 5 different brands. So what does AEW have with all that talent? It's just too much. That's why they have so many factions. That's why they have so many factions, and that's why they have so many multi-man matches. But that's it. That's all we're going to talk about right now, because we're actually 25 minutes over time. But I had such a great time talking to you two, y'all. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, watching Unpopular Reviews. If you have not dropped that like button yet, or you dropped that share button, go ahead and do that now for us. Wash your ass. April Rodriguez, the first lady of UPR, the Brooklyn Wolf of Makeup. Thank you so much for watching her. Thank you so much for watching us. Follow her, Beating Faces, on YouTube. Look for all her content. Stephen Willie Beamin will be here with me every single Friday. Join us next Friday, where we are joined by none other than Stan, who is, what is his name now? I forgot his name.
Is it Stan the Michael?
No, it's not Stan the Michael.
His wrestling name?
Yeah, what's his name?
I forgot his wrestling name. But
no. It's because they I remember when he was on UPR, they always wanted me to call him that, and I said I refused to call him that.
Oh shit.
Wow.
I remember.
You're a terrible host.
I'm usually better than this.
The sexy decoy.
Yes. There you go. That's what it was. I refused to call him that.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, next Friday, right here from Talk of Champions, will be Sexy Decoy Stan, and he'll be joining me. We'll be talking about SmackDown for next week, along with Stephen Willie Beamin bringing up his show with his new segment. Let's go ahead and talk about what we have going on for you on Monday. Monday Night Raw joined the technician David Sanderson, as well as none other than Evil Dose Malachi, as they bring you all the action of Monday Night Raw. On Tuesday, join Ron, Bad Guy Jack, as well as Shayna, Captain Shakespeare. That's her name. She just changed it. Captain Shakespeare, as they bring you all the information and action from NXT. On Wednesday, you have Big Daddy Cool, as well as Caden Dirt Sheets and the Sheriff. They bring you everything when it comes to AEW Dynamite. On Tuesday, also for UPR Entertainment, we're going to be talking about Star Wars Episode 3, Return of the Jedi. That will be myself, as well as James, as well as the Mark Victor Rodriguez. On Thursday, we're going to talk about Indecent Proposal from the 1990s. That will be Cedar Superior, myself. James is the Mark Victor Rodriguez. And, of course, I said next Friday. Okay, go back to that real quick.
Chris, I am your father.
Never. Friday, we'll talk about SmackDown again with myself, as well as Sexy Decoy. And also, check us out on YouTube and our channel, UPRE. As you can see, the Mark Victor Rodriguez, as well as Bad Guy Jack. And Caden Dirt Sheets talked about the Falcon and Winter Soldier. And, of course, they also have Black Lightning with Cedar Superior to Mark Victor Rodriguez and Bad Guy Jack. A lot of content spread out through all of us here at the UPR Network. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitch. Follow us on Twitter. And make sure... And make sure you follow both of our YouTube channels, which is Unpopular Review, UPRE, and Beating Faces. So, once again, thank you so much for joining us for Stephen Willie Beamin for the Brooklyn Wolf of Makeup. I'm the executive consultant, your tribal chief. Acknowledge me.
Your tribal asshole.
No, acknowledge to wash your ass. Go take a shower, you nasties. You're nasties. Take a shower. Wash your ass.
Hashtag the tribal asshole. The tribal douche.
Have a good night.
Bottom of the table.
Wash your ass.
Good night.